Good afternoon. We are live. Hey, everybody. Hey, Concrete. Hey, Topaz.
Hey, hey, hey.
What is
Hey
going
ladies, how are
on?
y'all?
I am doing fantastic. I am very, very, very excited. Very excited. Um, if
Tell
you
us
guys,
why.
if you guys don't know, me and Curlin got engaged on.
Yay!
Yes, yes.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
amazing.
you so much. I am so excited. So,
So
uh,
dope, so dope. It's a fiance in here.
yes, honey, a whole finance. Huh. Yes, honey. Y'all, I was so shocked. Like, okay, I'm about to tear up. Okay. Let me
Uh-oh.
calm down. Cause
Come on now.
there
We
you
having
go.
a
Stop.
we having an
Go
upbeat
now.
show. Don't don't come with that.
Stop.
Stop what?
He's sitting over here looking at me. I'm about to tear up, y'all. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. I'm not. Okay. Yeah, I was so shocked. Well, you can talk about it. And so about a month and a half, 2 months ago, he went and asked my dad for my hand or whatever. Or his blessing.
Did it the right way.
Yes, honey. And so he did it and then he didn't say anything. And so my daddy was like, well, you don't really need to say anything about it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna say nothing, but like goddamn, like how long does it take? So another week went by, another week, a few more weeks. I ended up going out with Dr. Bay and her business partner. And so we went out to dinner um the Friday evening. And so Carlin was like, okay, I'm on my way or whatever. I'm like, okay. So, I get to dinner and I'm talking to Dr. Bay and I'm like, girl, I don't know what the hell going on with him. I'm like, how you gonna ask for somebody's damn hand in marriage and
Oh,
then
look
not
at
even
you.
say
Look at
nothing?
you.
Honey,
They ain't shame. They know what that man had up his sleeve.
child, I was like, bruh, how you gonna ask for somebody's hand in marriage and then not say nothing? So, I ain't treat him wrong or nothing. I was still nice, but I was starting
Side
to look at
eye.
his ass with the side. I really was like, bruh, don't play with me. Anywho, I get back from hanging out with Dr. Bay. And so, Dr. Bay takes forever to get ready. It's a Gemini thing with you Gemini women. And so I went
Whatever.
through about two more outfits and I finally decided on some old hot girl shit, right? So put on my hot girl clothes. Like we go out. We get back, Curlin's pulling up as I'm already here and I'm like, oh shit, like my when I'm changing clothes, I don't put anything back. It's like I go through a process and then when I feel like I look right, I leave. Basically what happened. And so I'm putting my stuff up in my closet. Curlin comes in. He's in the room with me. I'm putting my stuff up in my closet. And I happen to turn around and he's down on one knee. And I'm like, why the hell is he down
Oh
there?
my
And I start
gosh.
screaming like, oh shit. Honey, I was so freaking excited. Yeah, it was crazy. So it was, yeah, I'm excited, y'all. I'm happy as shit.
Yeah, how freaking
Yes.
exciting is that? Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. Like happy, happy. Good
Thank
job,
you
bro,
so
Curlin. You
much.
did that.
Hey,
Yes, honey.
appreciate it.
So that was crazy because literally just literally was just sitting there talking shit to my
Shit.
homegirls.
Right.
Like literally, like,
Mm,
girl, I
mm,
don't
mm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you.
How do you get this off this room?
Shit, that just right.
Hold on, y'all.
We got a super chat.
I know. Um, okay. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. Shout out to bro Kenny Conjo. He says, shout out Sister George. Congrats on the engagement. Sunday greetings, Concrete Rose, First Lady, fourth quarter talk Topaz, and everyone here. Get the
Thank you, bro,
likes
Kenny.
up. Yes, get the likes up, y'all. Thank you so much, Kenny Conjo. Yeah, I am
That's such
waiting.
exciting news and an exciting note to start our show on too.
I
We have a
know.
couple other people joining. Have they already been sent the link?
I want to say I sent it to Amiri, but I'm going
I
to
just
drop the
forwarded it
link in the
to Miss
chat
J.
for Miss J, Amiri, and Edward Anderson. So if you guys are out there, the link is only for them.
At this
Um,
time. Yeah, we just want them to come
yes.
up.
And shout out to everybody here. What's going on? Tampa Supreme, James Leon, Save Yourself Black Woman, Miss J, KK, Third War Colombian, AO Male Israelite, Kick Cloud Kicker Jr., KK again, 757 Prime Time. What's up, people?
Hello, Black people.
Miss
Hello,
J,
hello, hello, and happy Sunday to you all. This is going to be a good
Tiara.
show. It's like good energy surrounding the show. This is going to be a good show today. I can feel it.
Yes. Complex Design. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Q497. Thank y'all. This is dope. Yes, I'm super excited, y'all. I'm just oh gosh.
Oh.
I know,
Um,
right?
in reference to the show, so we are still waiting on one more person to join us. But as you all can see, this is going to be a kind of battle of the sexes style show. So it's going to be an organized, structured show in where myself and Danny will ask some questions to the panelists, and we'll go. Excuse me. We'll allow everyone to have a chance to speak. We'll try to keep the answers basically succinct and direct so that they don't get too lengthy. But yeah, we'll have give everybody a chance to speak and answer the actual question, and then we'll dialogue a bit about the questions. And then, of course, if we have time, we'll open up the panel for some guests to come and join us. So, hello. I saw Amiri joined us too. Hey, Amiri.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing all right. Enjoying this
Okay.
beautiful Sunday.
Okay. Well, we're waiting on one more fella to join us. Edward Anderson is supposed to be coming too. We'll give him just a few minutes. He may be running behind before we get started.
I am sending him the email with the link in it. So give me just a second, guys. How are
Okay.
you guys doing on the panel today?
I'm doing great. Just had a delicious lunch, and it's a beautiful Sunday here too.
Yes, ain't nothing wrong with that.
What about you, Topaz?
Well, so I started my own company now, and so I had a few clients that I had to do therapy with this morning. I finished up the notes, made a nice little brunch for myself, and now I'm here.
All right. I did the same. I just had some brunch a little bit ago, but for some reason, whenever I plan my day out, I'm like, okay, I know I got the show. It's starting at 2. I had a whole laundry list of things to do, as always. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get up early, get everything started, and then, I'll get some brunch and come back and get ready for the show. And as always, like by the time I have an hour left, it feels like I still have a million things to do, but I was able to get everything finished that I needed to get finished, which is like big for me. So I can check them off my mental checklist. And yeah, it's like it's a real dope day. It's beautiful here as well.
Okay, well, I sent Edward the link, so hopefully he will join us in a few minutes. Um, yeah, so I guess we can
Give
get
me
up.
1 second. I'm sorry.
Okay, okay,
You could start, but I have to do something really quickly, like 30 seconds. But go ahead. You can get started.
okay. Oh, is this the right notebook? Okay. Sorry, y'all. Hold on just a second. Hold on. Okay, so I guess we'll just talk to you guys. And Mary, what's going on, man? How's your weekend? Amiri, we can kind of hear you. Well, I thought we could. Topaz. Okay, everybody's dropping down. BMT.
No, I'm still here. I was trying to open up another tab real quick.
Yeah,
Oh,
But
I
no,
just came to
I'm still
congratulate
here.
you on getting married.
aw, thank you so much, BMT.
Yep, yeah. Congratulate you on that one. Then congratulate you and Curlin. You know, we need more common sense and functionality out here. Less of the dreariness.
Well,
Are you crying?
I'm trying not to.
Uh, I think y'all deserve happiness, man. Like y'all, I get tired. Everybody they need to be alone and women need to die off. I'm like, man, y'all shut y'all miserable dead asses up, man. Like nobody got time for these losers and witches. Like they're all delusional. Like who? That's what I said. These are some pretty despicable people. But I was very happy. Two of my friends that already they now have a full family. You know, and I'm very happy to see that. We need look, white girl. If you had dumped on my table, I would have choked you the hell out. So that's our dog. We call her white girl. So um um like I said, I think we need more functional people, and we need more functional images of love in these spaces. All this they like showing people are suffering or down or all jacked up and everything, but they don't ever like showing people actually having a father and his children or a mother with her sons and her husband. They don't ever like showing the functional actual narratives of family. So, you got to push back against the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Everybody rather be on the bitch and the complaining train. I rather just walk on my own, just, do my own thing, you know? So I
And
definitely put
I'm sorry, I missed the question. I had an emergency situation, but can you repeat the question for me? I just wanted to make sure that I
It
understand what
wasn't
we're
a
talking about.
question. He was just coming up to congratulate me,
Oh,
and
okay,
so I appreciate that very
awesome.
much.
Hey,
Um,
same here. Same here. I just, I know you guys have a topic. I just wanted to come up here to congratulate you and Curlin as well. As somebody who was happily married, I'm, dude, I know, I, 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 I feel it, right? So I don't really have to go there. I just ask that you guys be the example. There's a whole lot of you guys know what this is about. I try to like host content on my channel that really sort of promotes men being an option for a deserving woman, and yeah, I'm happy for you guys, and I just wish you guys all the best. I'm gonna go ahead and drop back down. Okay.
thank you so
Dope.
much. Aw, that was really sweet, guys. You
Really, really
guys are
dope.
dope. Yeah.
do y'all have a list of things that y'all want that y'all requesting for y'all wedding?
Not really. Not any, being that this is like totally like, I'm not gonna say it was surprising, but new. Um, I'm already starting to get like, I don't think I want a big wedding. Um, I'm already starting to look at like, oh shit, and picking things out and picking people out for this, that, and the third. I'm already starting to get nervous and stuff about it. So um, we've given ourselves a year to get everything planned out and to take the trip down the aisle. But
Mhm.
it's like I'm already like, holy crap.
Yeah,
And
it's overwhelming.
yeah, and
Hmm.
I
Already getting
think I'm
anxious
good
about it.
under pressure, but this is all new territory for me. So I think I'm
That's
just gonna try to take myself as slow as possible, get a planner, and roll from there. Cause yeah.
Hmm.
that's good. That's good. I mean, I think there was like what six people at our wedding. I didn't want nobody at my damn wedding.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
how
want
I
all the
am.
naysayers. I didn't want all
I'm
the
gonna do something
naysayers.
small and intimate.
Yep. I wanted it to be quick. I wanted it shit. You know what I wanted for my damn wedding present? I wanted a mattress. That's all I asked for. Give us a
A
mattress.
mattress.
You damn right. I wanted a mattress.
As expensive as those are, that's a good idea.
You did.
Mattresses aren't cheap.
I've just never heard
They
anyone
don't know how much
suggest
a
that
mattress costs.
as a
Like,
wedding
I'm
gift.
just saying, especially a good sized mattress. Yeah, everybody pull your money together and get me a mattress. That's a great idea. That's a good money saver right
you
there.
definitely
want that
interesting.
now? Get me the good mattress. I want the good one. Get me the good Egyptian cotton. Don't skip
Yeah.
out on me. I'm
Now,
out.
good linen and sheets and stuff like that.
Oh, I got the whole.
I'm a stickler for a good thread count and
Yep.
some thick towels, honey. I am a stick and some good Tupperware in pots and pans. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I knew what I was looking for.
That's how you can tell we old, because I get excited about that type of stuff, and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, look at these dishes! Oh my gosh,
Girl, you know, I done
look
started naming my pots and pans, honey.
Oh,
Last night I used Big Keisha, honey.
Lord have mercy.
Maybe Big Keisha cooks, honey.
My grandmother gave us a skillet. She said, "Now oil it one good time, and you'll see the difference." And she got the skillet, and it was interesting things that they were getting us, but
not a used mattress Q4.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, Q4 outfit just for the sake of.
Hey,
nobody's asking for no used mattress.
His ass out for just that.
He a used mattress. Oh, see, that's how y'all be. That's how y'all be getting them bed bugs and all that crazy stuff. I ain't doing none of that. Like I got that. I think we had a mechanic. Ooh, I think one guy offered to give us 6 months of free oil changes. Man, that saved us so much money. See, those are the things we were shooting for our wedding. But I mean, the main thing about it is I always tell people, from what I learned, keep your marriage off of social media. Yeah. Don't ever bring your marriage to social media, because you see we got all the marriage counselors and critiquers of the world all on this space. Well, I would have done that.
And none of them happily married, but they out there giving you advice. Like if you don't sit down somewhere.
Listen,
indeed,
the woman's on YouTube right now. She need to be
well, check this out, BMT. It doesn't. I don't know if Edward Anderson is going to be able to join us right now, so we do have an extra spot open for another man. If if you would like to join, that would be great. Or if anybody else would like to volunteer to come up to
just balance out the panel. Yeah, we want to have
BMT is good. We need.
Can you stick around for a bit, BMT?
Yeah, I can fill in.
Thank you. We appreciate that. We want to go ahead and get started on the show.
And shout out to Jessica X for the super chat. She said for the wedding fund, LOL. No, Jessica, that's dead at.
We do need to start a wedding fund for real.
Listen, in the age of Corona, y'all just better go to the courthouse and just call it a day. You ain't trying to get
digital wedding in effect.
I literally, like, when I thought about picking people to be in the wedding and like colors and planning it out and like location, and I'm like, holy shit. But I really want to be like real fly in my wedding dress and real sexy. And then I'm like, I need a person.
Such a sag.
You can still do that.
What?
But now, question: What would be different if you did? If y'all, because understand, like when you go to the Justice of the Peace to get married, but they're going to take you to like a gazebo or like an area for that. What
exactly.
It would be,
and then they just did a big reception.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like I've seen it where like my cousin said she couldn't get the church she wanted, but we showed up to go do it at the courthouse, and the minister came there and did it there. Then after that, we had a big family like thing. We rented out a space. Had the DJ and all that stuff. I mean, she came there in her dress. The girls were there. Everybody showed up. Nobody missed it. I think it was like 2 days after. So, I mean, she didn't lose nothing, but she still got the memories and the photography. If anything, we all were taking pictures. So, I mean, y'all got to just do how y'all. We don't have to. We're no longer caught up in the traditional way. It has to be just done just one way. It can be done any type of way. You know what I'm saying? We just want to see y'all just make it. I think that's the whole goal. We just want to see
nowadays you have to save money too, because it's like
they cost
you can't be spending your money willy-nilly nowadays, honey. Everybody's gonna be pinched and
that's
stuff.
True.
So
and I mean, a wedding is like spend $30,000 on a wedding, or use that as down payment on a new home together, or
exactly.
put it elsewhere.
And then it's like wanting to make sure big debt is cleared up before we go down the aisle, and making sure we getting our assets and stuff together. So, it's been a lot of talk with me and him about those kind of things.
It makes perfect
And
sense.
so
You guys should really
I'm
listen
I'm
to my.
I'm I'm really looking at my daddy. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all some funny shit. So I was talking to my dad. I finally called my dad. I was like, "Oh, he finally popped the question or whatever, whatever." So my dad was listening. I was talking to him, and he says, "Well, yeah, I'm so excited for you." He was like, "I got two other daughters. I don't think they gonna get married." He was like, so I'm really excited for you because, I was like, because you know what? He was like, because you old shit. I was like, well, damn.
Damn.
Daddy.
Has he
Well,
really
damn.
been listening in on the manosphere? He was like, I said, why don't you think my sisters will get married? They too independent. And I'm sitting there looking like, has he really been listening in over here? I post the links on like my
Man,
personal
listen.
Facebook page and stuff.
He's your
But
dad. He
it was
knows. He's your
funny
dad.
as hell when he was like, cause you old. And I'm like, well, bruh,
What's old?
Well,
Like,
He's direct like you.
pretty
well,
much. Like, how you gonna call me old? I'm 40. Gee.
exactly, that's old. I just saw a woman get married for the first time, and she was
But
55
it's
years
funny
old.
for my own daddy to be like, I hit the wall. I was like, really?
well, Sister George, I
uh
think you and Curlin, can you guys hear me okay?
huh.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say, I think you and Curlin should listen to my marriage live stream that I did maybe about 2-3 weeks ago.
Please, please, please send us the link to that.
I sent it to you.
Oh, well, shit now.
That's
Complex.
not the one that I listened to. With the
Yeah,
one
this the one that
that
Concrete
was
Rose listened
very
to
informational.
because you
Very,
forwarded
very
it to
informational.
her.
Yeah,
I think
it
you
was real
guys
dope.
should, listen to it.
Oh, I sure will. Shout out to Rhea Black by Design. She says, just stopping through to say congrats. Thank you so much, Rhea. Shout out to Bap. She says, congrats. Thank you so much, Bap.
Oh shit! So we have to do the
Oh,
whole marriage donation thing. God damn it! All right, I'll dip it to my beer fund for you. I'll dip it to my beer fund for you.
well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. So do you want to stay up here and chop it up with us, BMT?
Yeah, I'll chop it up with y'all. I could do that. I'll do that.
Okay. And I guess we'll just let the rest be women on the panel when it's time. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and get into it.
Okay. So Black ladies, I guess there's not really a segue into this. I just wanted to get us together. I feel like we have so much division between Black men and Black women. I don't really think that we've been able to have a lot of very honest conversations with each other until now. And it still seems to be a lot of things that are underlying that we don't really talk about. And so to me, I feel like the best way to heal relationships with people is to identify some of the issues and then to work on healing them. And so I came up with a couple of questions, and Concrete came up with some questions, and we just said that we wanted to start talking about things. So my first question is, to Black men and Black women, do you think we are good? Do you think we're good strategists when it comes down to life? Do y'all think we're good strategists?
Heck no.
And what we're gonna do is answer it from the opposite. Like, if it's a girl, you answer it like, do you think the man is a good strategist? For the men,
Okay, so do you think your counterpart,
are good strategists.
your right, the opposite gender would be a good strategist? Basically, is what she's asking.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I was just answering in general for Black people. Unfortunately, the evidence does say no, we're not.
Okay.
That's, I mean, you can't really deny it. It's obvious we don't do a good job at that.
Well, I guess
'Cause
my question would be, who's the authority to say how life should be lived? Like, what standard or template are we using to say this is the way you live life and this is how you do it? You
I
see, I
mean,
think that's
the economic outcome, the health outcome, the outcome of our children. I mean, it's like down the line.
yeah, but you don't have
We
control. You're not in control of that.
I
You
know,
don't
but it
you don't
says strategic.
you don't
But
you
I'm
don't
talking about our
determine that.
strategy. It's our strategy. How what the decisions that we make. How does the outcome end up? And when you look at it, we don't do a very good job.
Yeah, but
We
what I'm
just have to
saying
be
is,
honest.
yeah, but what I'm saying is, do you think you can control that outcome? Like, look, there was just a scandal that broke several months ago with these wealthy white affluent families who were buying the process to get into these schools of prestige. You see, so this is what I'm saying. If you're playing a fixed and a rigged game, then to a certain extent, the outcomes are already determined.
is that's your answer?
I was just posing a question. Like, what standard are we going to
No.
go by when we talk about what's the
how
rules
about we
to live life?
well, how about we
Well,
answer the question directly and not with another question? I'll answer
yeah,
it
Well, I
let's
mean,
directly.
you can answer it your way, and then
Yeah.
I'll deal with it the
okay.
way I want to deal with it.
What
But
happens is things
let's
get
do
derailed.
this. Yeah, because we just want to kind of at least get all the questions
Right.
out. But let's go ahead and allow everybody to answer the question, because
Right.
we both have a series of questions, and we'll get through the questions and we can dialogue about it. On the back end.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So I'll say to that. Now you said, because then again, now I need to recontextualize the question. You said, are we good strategists?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I consider myself to be one, and I'll only consider a mate who is a good strategist, right? So I don't necessarily date based on the aggregate. I don't choose a partner based on the aggregate. I think we all have our strong suits and our weaknesses, and then we also have what's compatible with us, right? So I don't really look at things in that scope. I would say that everyone's individual lives, their outcomes are largely a reflection of how they operate or how they choose to deploy their intelligence in the real world. Okay. And my assumption also, again, is that since we all have agency and we all have to own our own outcomes, the things that you seek to do and the outcomes that you get in return, in my mind, these are things that you actually seek out. This is what you want. So I don't question it. I would say for me, though, for the things that I've done as someone who was happily married to a Black woman, who not only that, but I took it upon myself to actually do a live stream to talk about strategy. Concrete Rose can vouch for this, right? See, so the questions that the gentleman that was just speaking is proposing, I wholesale reject them, because who else to strategize other than yourself, given what's out here? You can still strategize. You can still plan to have success. You can still plan to pass on generational wealth. There is a process, there is a means by which you do it. And that is what will ensure that happen. Damned all this other shit that you're talking about. I mean, there's things that are going on that are affecting the economy from a global standpoint. That this is macro. It far supersedes any little, white supremacist notion, right? Everybody's feeling the pinch. Okay, 50 million unemployed. They ain't all Black.
So now you're contradicting your own premise, though.
Wait.
You're contradicting your own
Let me
premise.
read
Mary
these
ready to
super
debate.
chats
So,
real quick.
so
Um,
my whole point here, my whole point is
Complex.
that yes,
Can
you can
me?
strategize.
Can you hear
I
me?
never
But the question is,
said
do
anybody
we?
couldn't. I
Hold
never
on,
said
y'all.
anybody.
Hold on,
y'all, let them
guys.
run their
We want to
fucking
read
call.
the
Let them
super
run their channel,
chats.
man.
Okay, shout out to Alan Roger Curry. He says, congratulations, Sister George, and congratulations to Curlin M. I love being married. Can't wait to meet my first child in
Aw,
6 weeks.
Congratulations, man.
ARC, congratulations to you. I'm
Congratulations.
super
It's a married
excited.
man.
Yes, honey.
We need more. We need more.
Yes. Shout out to Big Duke. He says, great topic. Salute to the first lady of fourth quarter talk, Topaz. If you guys haven't subscribed to fourth quarter talk, please go and subscribe. You guys go and drop your link
Yes,
and
please drop
go
the link because
subscribe
I
to
need
those
to sub.
brothers. Yeah, that'd be great.
So,
But you guys can go ahead if you want.
let
Okay,
me
well,
let
when
me
y'all finish, I need to answer the question too, because I haven't gotten a
yeah
chance yet.
yeah. I haven't talked yet. I'm and I think let's just keep it towards the topic. I want to just focus on that. Uh,
Let's just answer the question directly. And I know it's
right.
hard
Yeah.
because it's kind of like you know that people are bringing up points that you want to kind of push back on, and I understand that, but we want to at least give everybody a chance to answer the
Right.
questions and make sure we can get through the all the questions. But go ahead, BMT.
So the thing about it is, I got 13 plus years in the game. Yes, you're going to have if you're going to make it and you're going to survive, especially as a black family, you're going to have to strategize and you're going to have to plan. And one of the things about it that for all of us who are parents and literally have had been tested, a lot of stuff don't go as planned. So you have to keep on planning as you go and keep on saying, okay, this didn't happen, or car tire blew out. So you got to keep on readjusting your strategy and your plan on how you budget, how you manage your time, your finances, your marriage, your job. So strategy, I would honestly say a lot of people have been, especially in our diaspora, have been. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of strategy for a mother to get 3 kids through high school and literally doggone keep a job. It takes a lot of strategy for a man to doggone manage a family and deal with that of the economic influx of the system. There's a lot of stuff that we don't give people credit for because we keep matching their strategy or their plan to the world. And I'm like, yo, dog, like they're handling what they can within their sector or vicinity. You know what I'm saying? I can go to my uncle right now and he could tell me everything on how to get on certain types of supplemental aid with the system. And I'm like, how do you know all that? He said, bro, I know how to plan and get these things done. Wake up, catch the bus at this time, get this done. And the fact that we don't give credit to those people that are doing it, right now we got parents that are right now planning to go get school clothes and still have to make the budget for getting groceries and paying the bills. That's strategy. But we don't want to call that strategy. We just say, well, they're just out there buying and fooling around. No, that's called planning, proper ID planning.
Good
So,
shit.
you know what I'm saying? Like, this is stuff that me as a father, and I'm sure Complex and any other man that buys their kids school clothes, that's going to be $400 out of our pocket right there that we have to be accountable for. That you can't just say, well, I hope I figure it out as it goes. No, you got to plan, and if you get a good woman on your team, she's going to understand that. Shout out to ARC for being a dad that's going to be soon to be dad. There's going to be a lot of days, and I encourage the brother, yo, y'all sit down every other night and plan and talk about, hey man, this is what I'm trying to do. My wife is going to school, so guess what? I have to plan that I am going to be the predominantary breadwinner that has to keep the weight going while she's going to school. Black men and black women are planning. It's just not how you don't know their plan, but there are people that are doing planning. So yeah, there are strategies going on out there.
Good shit, BMT.
Thank
All
you,
right.
BMT.
Can I finally finish my point?
Go ahead, Amiri.
What I was going to say was I reject the idea, the notion that black people are poor at strategizing. I think they do the best they can do in a system and in a society that's not designed to work in their favor. That's my answer.
Okay, Topaz, what about you?
Okay, can you repeat the actual question because it got lost in all of this?
Do you think black men are good strategists?
Yeah, actually, I mean, black men, I think, do a great job at strategizing when they want to for things that they want to get. So what we're seeing is the results of what their wants are. So that's when I always tell people, like, sometimes our wants are wrong. When black men put their mind to it, they can absolutely achieve a whole lot of stuff. You see all of the ways that people have come up with new ideas, inventions, and even, on the other side of that is like when we bootleg and nigger rig stuff. So yes, I do think that Black men can strategize, but the thing is, what is their end goal? What's their result? What is it that they're trying to get to? So we got to get them to focus on to have the right things that catch their attention.
Thank you. Thank you. So my questions are kind of sequential. So my build up, I guess my initial question, the topic is basically kind of on how we view each other. My initial question is just kind of to get some background information, and it will also kind of lend itself to how we view each other, depending upon what the answers are to my initial question. And it's just a simple one, and it is, what are your thoughts about Black love? So you can, answer the way in which you'd like, but hopefully if you give a pretty detailed response to, what do you think of Black love? Like, what are your thoughts on the subject in and of itself? And then my other questions kind of tie into that. So I forgot who went first initially. Was it Miss J? Miss J.
Hello?
Miss J? Okay, she might be tied up. So who went after Miss J? I think it was Complex. Complex, do you want to give your thoughts on Black love?
On Black love?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I did a live stream with Bernard Riley, actually entitled "Is Black Love?" What was it? Does Black love still exist, or something like that?
Mm.
And he says it was probably one of the best live streams he's ever done.
Wow.
It doesn't
I gotta
get
check that one out.
Yeah, it doesn't get nearly the views that the stuff that he's
Because
doing
it's
nowadays.
not controversial enough.
Well, that's kind of part of the course, right? But he and I did I talked about my marriage, and so if you ask me, of course, I think what it is just Black people are they make it fucking difficult. They really do. I don't really profess to know any other way to describe why we practice so much inherent dysfunction. Because a lot of it doesn't, from a common sense standpoint, right? It doesn't compute, right? And so when things don't compute from a common sense standpoint, you have to look at the dysfunction of it all. And so until we really want to deal with the dysfunctional aspects of it, I think most people are going to struggle. Now, for me, I look for what's comparable. So I'll never struggle with that type of thing when I'm ultimately with someone. It won't be a struggle.
So thank you.
Let me read these cash apps real quick. Shout out to Complex Design, he said, for the union. Thank you so much, Complex. Shout out to Third Ward Colombian. He says, let platinum be the pastor at y'all wedding. Respectfully, hell no. Now he could probably do curling bachelor party, but he can be the
That's
pastor.
gonna be wild. That's gonna be wild.
I mean, you know. And shout out to Kenny Conjo. He said, appreciate you for shouting out the fourth quarter channel. And also shout out to Third Ward again. Thank you so much, guys. Go ahead.
Thanks, guys. And then I wanted to see if Miss J was back, and if she could give a response to the question.
No, that was my response. I'll pass.
Oh, okay. You said you'll pass. Okay, I didn't catch that. Okay, well, thank you, Miss J. Anyways, I guess we'll go on to BMT.
She don't know nothing about that.
Yeah,
I think I'm married.
I'm gonna just keep it polite. So that's it. Yeah.
I think I'm married.
Okay, sometimes that's the best route, Miss J. So that's fine. Sorry, BMT. What were you saying?
No, I know. I'm saying a Mary went before me, unless she's not here. A Mary went before me. We're trying to keep it in order.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Amiri, then. What are your thoughts on Black love?
I think I think it remains in a state of flux. I think ultimately, a lot of the things that we attribute to dysfunction and just this inherent dysfunctionality with Black people are actually due to economics and socioeconomics. So I just think it remains in a state of flux, and I also think that in spite of everything, it's something that's resilient and something that that we should strive for. That's my thoughts on it.
Thank you. Appreciate you. BMT, what about you?
No, it's alive and strong. It's still good. I think that's the thing about it. Like most young couples, and I go to the other sector of YouTube for Blacks. They're doing videos with their lovers, and they're doing kissing challenges and all kinds of things.
True. Good
And
point.
they're doing a lot of things, showing off. This is my babe. This is my boo. And like you got it where I mean, shoot, like there's a lot of young people that are like the first thing they look for is somebody that they identify with that looks like them. I don't know why we keep the notion of nobody's checking for Black women, nobody checking for Black men. No, that's not true, because literally you more likely I've seen more of them walking down the aisle hand in hand or raising a family or holding their child while the girl's pushing the cart. So these narratives that you're hearing out here on superficial Negro tube, they're not really reflective of everyday life of the of individuals who are actually out there fighting to doggone raise and rear families and children and stuff. So there's a lot of young adolescents as well as older people that I do see that they try to, for the most part, because if you think about it, most of the content is usually on trying to get the other sex's attention to say, hey, I'm valid. So, but if you didn't care for that validation of love, then you wouldn't make that kind of content. You'd be making content of just that, of what you want to be pulled towards. So that's just telling me that, you still care. You just don't know how to convey it. It's like the boy who doesn't know how to, it's like the boy who don't know how to get the girl's attention. So he keeps hitting her, or the girl who keeps picking on the boy, but she don't know how to properly talk to him. That's all I see on these channels. They don't know how to properly convey their emotions to each other. So they just pick and tease and keep sparking up little issues. But they haven't learned how to properly just drop the issue and say, listen, look at the person and look at the environment, and actually let's see where we can go from here. Like I said, when you take out the social media and the third party whispering gossip girls and guys and leave those two in the room by themselves, they start actually getting more of a feel for each other. That's just the real talk about relationship building. Take out the third man, just let it be about y'all.
Good points, BMT. I would have to agree with a lot of what you said. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Shout out, man.
Yeah. And Topaz, what are your thoughts, ma'am?
Well, I definitely think Black love is alive and well, as we see on the panel here today. Once again, congratulations, Sister Georgia, Curlin M, right?
Thank
So that's one
you.
example. You know, they went against all the odds when everybody was hating, said it couldn't be done, and they got it done. So I think that it is very well alive. Second, I think it's a necessary thing for our community. When you see all of the horror stories or what have you, but when you see a couple that got together and they actually have real love, it's a beautiful thing. Not only do they both elevate, but they elevate just like the morale of people around them. It's contagious when it's done appropriately. I think that the problems that we see with Black love come from people either rushing into it, or either they didn't take the time out to learn what they actually need versus what they actually want, and they did it for other reasons other than love. So now, am I saying you shouldn't get married for other reasons? No, as long as you can handle it and you are ready for the consequences. But when you have Black love, I think it elevates not only every life area that you have, but it does that for those around you too. And I think that that's what's missing in our community. We need a lot more of that. We need a lot more positive examples. We need for people to know that it's possible, because a lot of people are giving up. And it just sounds so much like a miserable life to have given up completely.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Danny, do you want to go ahead and read the super chats and then segue into your next question?
Sure. Shout out to Cool Gent 87. He says, congratulations, Sister George and Curlin M, on your marriage. Now, we're not married just yet. We just got engaged.
But he's speaking it into existence. Let that happen.
You know what? You're absolutely right. Well, thank you
He
so
already
much.
see y'all
Yeah,
there.
You
man.
know, people will say, "Oh, they're already married." You know how stuff will take off. So, just
Yeah,
give us some clarity. We just got engaged. We're
yeah.
not married yet, but we're,
Well, and you know what else? And married means a joining of the two people. So technically, y'all are already married. You just got to do the ceremony and the paperwork.
yeah, girl.
Why do you think I gave you the money for the union?
Yes. Shout out to y'all. Okay, this is making me so crazy. Like, okay. I'm screaming because I've been I've been on one. So,
That's what it's supposed to feel like. Go with it.
Yep, it sure is. Yep, that's how
oh
it's
my
supposed to
God.
feel. Yep.
Okay. My next question, do you feel like we as a people are polite to each other? Do we have
Mm.
respect for one another as a race?
Can I
No.
go first? Oh, go ahead.
Sure.
No, we don't. Now, whether or not you have respect for the other gender or whatever within yourself and you know how you feel for real, that doesn't matter. What I'm saying is we don't show it outwardly. We don't do what is needed to be done, to make the other person feel the respect. So you might be, you might have that feeling, but if you're trying to communicate it and it's not getting received, the message isn't getting received by the other half, then it's like it didn't even happen. You might even be sending the opposite message. So no, we don't respect one another, and that's something that we need to do before we can even think about Black love and unity and all of that, because you can't just push people together if they don't respect one another. So the respect is first and then the love.
All right.
I go next.
Sure.
You said, do we respect each other?
Yes.
I'll tell you this much. I'm the type person who moves out in the world where um, I live by the adage that my dad has kind of raised me by: fair exchange is no robbery, right? So if I demand respect from you, then that means that I have to show it to you, right? So for myself, it's a personal edict. Whether it's my own people, whether it's whoever in the world, fair exchange is no robbery. So if I show you respect, then I expect it in return, and I try to live that way. As a whole or an entirety, no. And you can just hear it reflected in the tone of conversations that are largely had. So we don't actually show a level of respect to each other in conversation when it takes place in social media. We also don't respect each other in terms of what we are supposed to be to each other, right? Like we've got people trying to take on the roles of the other rather than deferring to them and then allowing them to be in that natural place. So we don't respect each other's being either to a large extent. So I think it kind of culturally it kind of cuts pretty deep in terms of like the level of disrespect that we show each other, and it's reflective in the dysfunction.
Okay. I'm gonna read the super chat first. Shout out to BMT. He said, I actually almost cried when I saw Curlin and Danny make the big step because I realized I wouldn't be alone as a married couple and put my beer down and prayed to cover y'all in protection. Oh gosh, y'all shit. Okay, let me go on mute. Okay, y'all can go ahead and answer the questions. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, BMT.
Good.
Thank you, BMT. Go ahead, Amiri. Sorry.
Well, no, I say no. We don't respect each other, and I think that's by design. A lot of times, a lot of this is influenced by environment, our social environment. Something that I've noted is how the modernity of today's society actually facilitates a lot of the disrespect that we display to one another. We value people, we don't value things. We don't value each other. We don't really value ourselves. You see, and so what we have in Black society today, I think, is a culture of disrespect, and it's something that's bi-directional, where we we don't see the other as fundamentally deserving respect. You see, I'm oftentimes it's commonplace, especially on YouTube and social media, to hear people deploy metrics that people must meet or a litmus that people must meet in order to have respect. You see, not even understanding that that's just a human value. And the gentleman who was speaking earlier, he alluded to it. You see, and so this is just where we are in today's society. We don't respect each other, and I think to a larger extent, it's by design, and that's unfortunate.
Okay. Miss J.
Thank you.
No, I mean we don't. We, like they said, we don't respect each other. We don't respect ourselves. We don't respect in general. I mean, as a collective, yes, we do have individuals who break the mold, but I mean the evidence is obvious to everybody that no, we don't, and that's something we definitely need to work on.
Okay. Complex. You answered right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we got everybody. Oh, did Topaz answer?
I'm back. I'm back.
Okay. BMT. What about you? What do you think?
Um, I think it's respect is earned, but for the most point, um, it's kind of like it's a case by case. I'm a southern guy, so like when I see females, I say, "How you doing, ma'am, darling?" Stuff like that. I know y'all think it's corny, but that's literally how a lot of the men in the South we talk to our women. And a lot of the women, they kind of respond back with, the same kind of energy. Like, I mean, it's like literally they'll respond back because they're being looked at as a woman. So I know we like to paint that everybody's in the hood, but really we're not. Because I mean, I literally opened up the door for a woman out of business, and she said, "Thank you, sir." So that means she was respecting me as a man. Uh, it's like I said, it's case by case, and telling a random woman that probably you don't even know she's already married or in a relationship that she needs to respect me as a man, that's not her job. And that's kind of out of your place because I could never go up to any of the women on this panel and they don't know me from a hole in the wall and say, hey, as a man, you're supposed to respect me. No, 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 no. She belongs to another man. That's his covenant of his wife that he championed for. Now, granted, if I saw a situation which was out of her femininity control, then what I'm saying I've seen it times where my kid needed, help. I've seen women go into a motherly nature and say, here you go, sir, like, you can get this to your child. Like woman just reached in her purse and pulled out some animal crackers and handed it to my baby. She ain't had to do that, but you know what? She saw that I was trying to take care of manage my children, and she helped me out. So there is case by case the scenarios, and I know it doesn't sound luxurious or amazing, but I mean, like I said, you got to step outside away from that computer screen and go see the world for yourself. And it's given to those who actually are within their sphere of earnesty. You know what I'm saying? You're going to meet some of those who are like disgruntled or have issues, but for the most part, you're going to have that probably that individual or that anomaly that fights. But other than that, for the most part, people ain't going around trying to fight men and women. Like God, who is that? Like they'll get ousted immediately in functional society at work or any place at Walmart. I don't see nobody running up on no man and I hate men or no guy running up on women spitting on them because they dress a certain way. They don't do that. Like, so I'm just trying to figure out where's all this happening at where, the openly blatant disrespect. Social media is one thing, and we might catch these little snippets on camera, but we don't ever get to see the full story or we don't ever get to hear everything. That's why I find it always interesting. There's always a camera at a convenience for a situation. There's always a camera all of a sudden start to roll, but we never see the start to the finish of what happened to actually trigger the effect of what's going on at that moment. So I kind of take everything case by case.
I do want to speak to something though, because there is a cultural component to this, and,
Mhm.
and you can just see that when you listen to the music. Music is the voice of your culture, and what does it say about our music when it's denigrating of both black men and black women? You see, in a lot of ways, in a lot of respects. And if we think that this doesn't have any effect on our psychology on a subliminal level, then we need our heads examined. You see, so that it puts that rhythm and that vibration out into the society and in our social spaces. You see, so when you see these instances of it being manifested in a physical reality, that's just the manifestation of it. But the seeds of that were planted long ago psychologically.
Okay. So, in saying that, when were love jams big? When were love jams big? Like Keith Sweat, all Isaiah, Tom, when were they big?
You're asking me that as a matter of history, like you're asking for a date and time. I would say the 80s or the 90s.
I don't want to get too far off the track at this point.
I do apologize about that.
No, that's okay. We at least want to get through most of the questions that we have, so we're only on like 1.5. So Topaz, did you have a chance to answer?
Oh, is this still about the respect, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. I went first.
Okay, sorry. So my next question, then my follow-up question is going to be, I hate to bring this up because we talked about this last week, but it relates to kind of where I want to go in the conversation. So there was an incident that happened where there was someone from the other side of the tracks that came to the Black manosphere, and there is an allegation that there was some disrespect that happened. Most of us here probably know what happened, but in relation to that incident, I kind of feel like one of the things that was something that to me was important, we kind of glossed over it when we talked about it on our last show. But I want to know, given that incident, that's like a great example to use. Do you think that there is any correlation between, let me see how to say this. Do you think that there is any correlation between how the respect or lack of respect that Black women show and basically how Black men handle themselves in society as a whole? So how, Black women see Black men move about in this society and the lack of respect that is shown. Do you think that there's any correlation? Why or why not?
Can you kind of phrase that again?
Do you think that there is any correlation between the lack of respect that Black women show Black men and how Black men essentially move about in this or move about in the world? Given like the example where there was a white man allowed to come up on a Black man's panel and disrespect the men on that panel. For example, using that as an example, do you think that would affect how Black women view Black men, just going off of that one small example? If we said, the men on that panel, for example, do you think that would affect how they're viewed by Black women if Black women feel that they're allowing someone from the outside to come into the space and disrespect Black women and Black men?
I think Black women feel how they feel regardless. Yeah. I think that was more of a thing where I think more or less like it was kind of like a I guess you could say a topic of discussion amongst Black men. I think we addressed it on the Brain Trust. We addressed our position on it, and then I did a live stream. Was it Friday night? It was a theme. It was called the square upon which you stand. And it touched on protecting your domain, right?
Ah, interesting.
And so that's sort of like the central theme of that conversation. But it's a subjective notion. I know what I will engage in terms of social media interaction. There's conversations that are had that I just simply have no part of, and I don't even bother to listen to them. And then there's other conversations that I will engage in, right? So I think it's an individual imperative, but I think collectively, outside of that, just generally speaking, you've been hearing the conversations in these spaces before this instance about, how the various displays of disrespect that happens between us, right? And I could even raise my hand to some of that. you know. So I would say that existed prior to this little whatever.
Right, but I was using that just as an example, saying like
Yeah,
how
that's
men
just a
move around,
microcosm of it.
yeah, and in the society as a whole. Do you think that affects how Black women view them? If you
No,
are
like
not
I say,
protecting your domain, for example,
Can I?
just going using your title,
Mhm.
do you think that affects how the women in your community are going to see
no,
you? I guess
no,
was my question.
no, no, not at all. Because like I said, there are brothers who do it right, and they're called lames and shit. So
Okay,
no, no.
fair enough.
Um,
Let me
I
just say
would
this
say
really quick, Amiri, but I want
okay.
to hear what you have to say on it. I just want to quickly say this. Complex brought up that, the show that he did on it. And I want to make sure that you guys know that he is actually streaming now. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Complex. And he's actually going to do a live stream tonight as well.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
No problem. Go ahead, Amiri.
Okay, yeah, I'll say yeah, it contributes to it, and rightfully so, because these are some of the disagreements I've had with many of these brothers in the manosphere, and for these brothers to allow this white boy to come up in there on their house and basically insult their intelligence and tell them how they're inferior to white men on an intellectual level speaks volumes, but they appear to have all this smoke for Black women. See, and so when you do that, you're just going to you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot, because what you're going to look like, you're going to look like a bully. And this is how many brothers look. You look like a bully. You see, and so this is what you're talking about, just the way that many brothers move into society. Does it contribute to the lack of respect that sisters have? And it's unfortunate, but it's the truth. You see, it's just like if a brother see a woman dressed a certain type of way, he's going to have a certain idea about her. This is just what it is. You see, so you can't really escape it. And so the fact of the matter is that when it comes to doing the things that men are supposed to do, in the aggregate, Black men aren't doing that. You don't control any industries. You don't run anything. And so when that is the reality, you're going to have these types of issues with your women on a collective level. So you can't talk about the problems that we have with Black women on a collective level and then want to divest yourself from the collective reality of Black men in America as being powerless. That is a bad faith argument, and it is disingenuous.
No, dude, that's so much bullshit.
You can address it. You can address it on your show, brother. Yeah, like I answered it. You can address it on your show. That's my opinion
Hold
on
on,
it.
guys. I do think that
that's my opinion.
That's his opinion, Complex. But I do want to kind of come back to this, because I think that there are some important points that kind of I also wanted to touch on that both of you guys spoke about too. But let's get everybody's response, and this is one that we'll definitely make sure that we kind of dialogue about, because there's some things that I wanted to say about it too. Miss J, what are your thoughts on the question?
Yes, it does have an extreme effect, because this is not just a one-off thing. You have to also add into how people talk about Black women on other social media, also music and other things. And so when you have that type of situation, you're simply confirming that that's the reality. So that's going to affect people, whether you like it or not. And that definitely is going to affect women. So, but it is what it is. But I mean, that to say it doesn't have an effect is really just wishful thinking, because it does.
Thank you.
So there's no individual choice in any of this.
We're talking about the collective. You keep talking about individuals.
I know.
We're talking about the whole group. It may not do it to you, but other people.
No. The aggregate result of the collective is the sum total of individual impetus. So it starts with the individual, and then you get.
But you're not even a woman. You're not a woman. This is about what women feel.
That's a false notion anyway.
Talking about
individuals come from the group.
We're talking about reality. We're talking about reality, not your feelings. Okay, everything is a decision that people
make. That was about the feelings, though. It was about Black women's feelings. That was the specific question. Not Black men's rationality. Black women's feelings.
Yeah, I know. And if you're driven by your feelings, then you're going to get what you do.
Okay, well, let's get answers from the other panelists, and we're gonna talk about this, because I know that this is kind of contentious. So
somebody car got pulled I think that's why it's a contentious issue.
Well,
no, it's concrete over here keeping up shit.
No, because this is important when we're talking about how we view each other. I mean, I was thinking like I was kind of personalizing and thinking like, what impacts my view of men. So I had to, I
Right.
wanted to get the panelists to chime in on that, but we gonna talk about that because I want to expound on it as well. So BMT, we'll take your response and then we'll get Topaz in there.
Yeah, I've already I talked about that on my panel because I know I missed it when goddamn little Fortnite little dude showed up, but I'm gonna tell you right now, they asked for that. See, everybody was key when he was talking about black women, and the first question that came up was, "Hey, we're talking about black men issues." First thing came out of goddamn white man's mouth. Oh, I think that's hilarious. Once they tell you that your issues and your problems are hilarious, why are we still talking? Why are we still having a conversation? Because that just told you they don't care about what you think. So once you tell me that, ain't no need for no debate. Ain't no need. It will be a cold day in hell if I ever ask somebody outside of my ethnicity, outside of my diaspora, what do you think about my women and children? It will. What does that say about me as a man? I could give a damn, or I'm trying not to curse, but that to no end, that shows weakness. It shows a regurgitated weakness when you're asking somebody else for a laughing point to show, hey, do you hate your people that bad that you will ask outsiders what they think of you so that way you can get a view? That literally, you didn't prove anything. You just proved just how weak you are. I mean, God damn it. You give the goddamn bald eagle a talking point. And I hate trying to give that anything to that doggone broad. But damn it, I will never, in a cold day in hell, will ever ask anybody. And I'm going to be talking to other races later on today about politics. But I will never ask them, hey, how do you think the black household should be run? What the hell do I look like as a man asking somebody outside of the home how I should deal with the black woman or black child? I will never ask somebody who is not like me. Men should never ask somebody else how to chastise and deal with our women. Women, you better not be asking somebody outside how to deal with the men. That's where we are. That's where the cold line breaks.
Well,
So
too late for that one.
I know complex. I know it's too late, brother. I know it's too late. But I understand that you understand what I'm saying? You don't ask outsiders how to run your goddamn home or your goddamn household. You don't do that.
Well, that's why I was kind of wholesale rejecting these notions or this idea here that somehow I'm completely incapable of strategizing my home, family, and personal life, right? Where I set things up in such a way where I have a vehicle to go ahead and pass on generational wealth. Like it's actually already in process. Like I can pull up the various investment accounts that my daughter has, and I can look at the dividend gains, for example, right? You see, so I think it's laughable when I hear these notions.
No, that's true.
Well,
Wait
no
a
one
minute.
ever
Wait a
said.
minute. Wait a minute.
No
You
one.
guys. Wait a minute.
Stop with that nonsense.
Concrete. Let me ask you this. Benjamin D'Souza wanted the link, but we do have space for.
I was just literally just texting you about that.
Okay. Yeah, we have
okay,
space
so
for one
I
more
think
for one more woman and 2 more men.
why don't we do this? Why don't we ask one more final question and then we can open it up, and then I guess we can kind of the other questions that we have, if we can kind of just feed them into the actual show, because it is getting kind of late, and if we want to allow people, and when you come up after you've said your piece, we'll ask that you drop back down so we can make space for other people as well. Okay,
Well,
is that okay?
after you answer this question, I'll answer it, and then I'll go ahead and drop down. Okay.
But
Okay,
before we ask the question going forward, can we please all agree that we're talking about the collective and not individuals?
Oh yeah,
We are
yeah.
definitely talking about
let's
the
just agree with
collective.
that, okay?
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
'cause
definitely talking about the collective. Because
Right.
we want to be able to identify what we're seeing as a collective people. And like I said, if we're able to identify something and come to agreements about it and say, okay, we all look at it like this, then you start to actually be able to fix the problem.
Wait, but Danielle, I have a fundamental problem with that, right? I have a fundamental problem with that, right? Because that would imply that somehow I contribute to the aggregate, right? So if I know that I'm not plagued by the things that plague others, and there's reasons for that, then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come from a position of someone who does things that gets me the right results. I
but
wholesale
Complex, you
reject
have to
that
step
idea.
outside of yourself, because a lot of what we talk about doesn't apply to me at all whatsoever. But I have the
Okay.
ability to
But
still.
if you notice,
Can I interject really
but if you
fast?
notice,
Because
well,
Hold on
hold
one
on,
second.
hold
I
on. If you
just
notice
want
though,
to
Let
make
him
sure I answer
respond
the
first.
question because I never got a turn.
Let
So.
Okay.
Complex finish his thought. Go
Let
ahead.
yeah,
Complex finish his thought really
because
quick.
all I was saying is I do make reference to the aggregate. Okay, I do.
Okay.
And so what I do is I say, okay, well, look, this is what I do, and this is what like I get out of this, right? And then I also compare and contrast it to what is the aggregate, and I say, well, yeah, largely the aggregate is dealing with this. I'm not blind to that shit. But I
Yeah,
mean,
you know what,
just for me to adopt a position,
but
for me
this
to
is the
adopt
thing.
that we're all
Right.
miserable.
But I
No, I mean,
never hear you really
why
speak about, you
This is the
don't
thing.
include
This is the
yourself when you talk about the collective, when it's like I generally, because this is my people, so when I say we, even if there's if it's something that's negative that doesn't apply to me, when I talk about
right.
Black people, I generally say, well, we as Black people need to do better by doing XYZ, even if I don't personally need to make those changes. And it's just me talking about us as a collective people, and without separating myself, I guess.
Right,
But
right.
I
And
also, wait
let
a
me
minute,
just
Complex. I
okay,
also
go
wanted to
ahead.
bring about this point too.
Mhm.
Sometimes, okay, you may not be a part of a problem, but you might be able to identify exactly what the problem is. And so when we talk about the problems, and we're able to identify the problems and the sources, we also help in that aspect too. And I don't think it's just about anybody complaining and just
Good
saying
point.
blah 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 blah. This is this. Sometimes you need people that are objective, that are able to see outside of being a part of something. So
And you know what, Daniel, I would absolutely agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that. But you know what? If the cultural standard, right, is dysfunctioning, guess who would be the objective ones? The ones who are getting married and forming unions, like you, like yourself and Curlin, right, for example, right? So you are the objective voice in all actuality.
Okay,
Can
we didn't get a chance to get Topaz's response to the question, so she never actually got a chance before we kind of delved off into this. So
Change the subject.
our apologies,
Yeah.
Topaz. Can you give us your response to the question?
Okay, well, I'll be quick because I know everybody has so much they want to say. In terms of whether or not that last event that happened on here on Black YouTube had a impact, and it can be used as a great example of the reason why Black women are behaving the way they are towards Black men, and we're talking about the collective because I don't include myself in this. Yes, the reason for that is because if you think about female nature and then also human nature, female nature is to avoid injury, death, pain, things of the like. So if we see that someone else is in charge of you, why would we listen to you? If you know, if we can listen to you initially, if we feel that you're going to lead us into a way that person is not going to be able to come around you and hurt us and get us to do something that's the opposite of what you just said. So if they're subjugating you, why would we feel safe listening to you? We would need to hear it from that person to make sure that they're not able to come around you and hurt us, which is what their design is. That guy, in my opinion, came over here and he was talking negatively about Black women initially because he wanted to see if the plan worked. And so it did work because Black men were supposed to feel, because whether you agree with it or not, you are still being looked at as responsible for the behaviors of Black women and children. Now, you can say, I didn't do it. You can say it was somebody else's fault. It doesn't matter. That's just how the world works. Just like the world clumps in all Black women together, no matter what your individual differences are. Because people outside of you say we look the same. You know why? Because the brain says better safe than sorry, and it makes shortcuts. So with that being said, if we know that about female nature and human nature, yes, it did do a damage towards how Black women overall, myself not included, how they view Black men. And my question is, why would you even be surprised?
I actually wanted to
Thank
respond.
you.
I wanted to respond to this question too. I honestly don't think that one incident would be a total of how we should view people. Like I stated in the last broadcast, I think it's
Yeah, but we were using that as just a microcosm, so just a small
got you.
example of
Yeah,
right.
I got you, but it goes into my point. I also don't think we measure manhood as a people in the right way. Um, just because somebody can get into a man's face and talk shit to him and he can talk shit back, that doesn't really make a man. Bravado doesn't add up to a total man. Um, Leadership, how responsible a man is, what he does for his community, who he is as a person, to me makes up the whole person. But I think that when we're in situations like that, um, it does make it hard not to maybe take away something for that man for you. You know, like if you see your man being disrespected or something, and I think I would be a good example of being in a situation like that. It's like, no, it doesn't make me look at my man less different because my man is in front of me and my man is protecting me. But I think if I kept seeing my man being in a situation to where he allowed himself to be disrespected, then it would make me wonder about my man's mindset and in general, the overall mindset about a person who would allow people to disrespect them. And then even coming at the guys who say strategically, you would allow people to elicit a response from you or a reaction from you to draw them into a trap. But to me, I don't think that response was appropriate to that situation. And so I do think if we do have multiple situations like that and it keeps happening, I do think it does lessen the respect for that man.
Well, I want to answer to now. Okay, so I think that the example that I was given, I think I agree 100%. I think with Topaz, she articulated her point very well, and I agree with it. But when I think about our men having a history of being subjugated in this country, having a history of the white man having his foot on their neck, having a history of not being in a position to be able to protect us, I'm thinking about the psychological effects that that has had on Black women, my Black ancestors, and how that has impacted them, and how that is part of the reason for the things that they've normalized in their lives and have passed down to the women, the young girls and women that they eventually raised. So I mean, I understand that on a personal, to me it's different on a personal level. When I think about it from a personal standpoint, like my man is Superman to me. I'm not worried about anybody when I'm with him. However, I'm just saying, like, collectively, I think that has shaped our view of our men. Them being in a position to where they are subjugated, and it's because we have a unique situation. It's not like other cultures where we are. I don't want to get into the debate over whether or not we are aboriginals or we were here before this land was ever settled, this, that, and the other. In my opinion, we were stolen from our land. We have a very unique situation in this country, and I think that has overall impacted how we view our men, because in a lot of situations they've been powerless. And that's just my opinion about it, and I'll say that and shut up. And I know that this is something that we want to delve off into, so I'll let you answer if you want to ask one more question. I had a few more, but I'm going to weave them into the conversation.
I'm actually gonna drop the link if that's cool.
Okay, yeah, that's what I prefer to. Good, cool beans. Okay, so we can go ahead and start, I guess, dialoguing. If you guys want to start off on this point, and I know I can weave my questions in there somewhere. I know Complex wanted to respond to like the points that were being made, because I think there were a few that you disagreed with. Complex, if you want to start it off, that's fine.
Okay. Concrete Rose, you listened to my marriage live stream.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you kind of heard what I kind of laid out there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so in listening to that, let me get your take. I don't, Danielle, she hasn't listened to it, but like I said, I think it's something her and Curlin really need to listen to. But in terms of kind of what I sort of painted a picture of, right? Like, do you see that one as a firm and sound strategy and basis for a foundation?
Absolutely. You laid out things that I hadn't heard, articulated, and I didn't know, that I had never heard of, things that I didn't realize that, I could take advantage of. So yes, absolutely. I think it would be, will provide a firm foundation for anybody who followed that plan.
Right. So my point in illustrating this is that knowledge is power. Okay. So when I wholesale reject a notion or an idea, it's because I fundamentally see flaws in the logic of it, right? Because these aren't things that befall everyone. It's all depending upon what it is that you're doing. Now, I did relegate this back to cultural imperatives, right? Like you have a culture that's largely predicated upon broken homes. Okay, largely. Now, this is me speaking to the collective here. Okay, so there we go. It's largely comprised of a lot of broken homes, a lot of blended offsprings. It's something that's really just not. It's not the best situation, right? When you're trying to do the whole generational wealth thing and all that shit. Okay, so like we have to like acknowledge realities. Okay, that's why I'm like, don't charge me with this whole, oh, you're a rugged. No, fuck that. No, I see exactly what it is, right? And so I see what it is that I do, and then I see the results that I get, and then I look at how it is that we can't even get to a point before we can start talking about the shit that I did a live stream with. Let me ask you something, Concrete Rose. Do you think that based on the conversations that you hear between males and females, that they have the fucking ability to long-term plan for something that I laid out? Do you see it working? Like over the course of like 5 years, do you see it working out? Or do you think that that's something that's a long-term commitment? That's a life commitment. That's a lifetime commitment. What scenario do you think is going to actually play itself out if that's to be successful?
Okay, is anybody talking? But let me send a shout out to Blick.
They weren't.
Whoa, I was.
That's awkward.
We don't know where this went off on another
Let me
angle, so we're just listening.
I do want to say something. I want to address this
wait.
idea.
Let me read this super chat real quick. Shout out to Blitz7094. He said, "Hey, Complex. Basically, what Black women are saying is what Sin G says. Black women won't see us as men because we're dominated by white supremacy. LOL." Go ahead. Thank you so much.
In terms of individualism, I find it funny when we talk about individualism as being some just something that's natural, that's endemic, that we just take at face value. When the fact is, it takes a pair to make an individual. So that's the flaw in your logic, brother. It takes two to make one. You see, and so because of that,
are you telling me that I produced my daughter asexually?
No, that's what your argument would be saying, not mine. That's what your argument would be saying, not mine. Yeah.
How could my argument be that when I didn't produce her by myself?
Yeah, exactly. So exactly. So you see how?
No, dude, I'm not going to let you get away with that.
Are you going to let me talk? No, your argument is flawed. I didn't interrupt you. I never interrupted you, brother.
He did say it takes a pair to make one. He did say a pair makes one.
Exactly, and so by definition, a pair is a group. See, so the only way you can understand being an individual is being opposite of a group. And what we do is we conflate being an individual with being cellular. We are a part of it. We are a part of a physiological cosmology and universe and ecosystem. So it's a system. So just by that definition and basis alone, just from what we know of the nature of our universe, individualism is a myth.
Dude, what the fuck? Universe?
It's a myth.
Universe?
It's a myth.
Wait, no, bring it back to reality.
It's a universe.
Let's stay right here. I get that.
What you're talking about is a myth, brother.
Let's stay right here. Let's stay literally on a person-to-person level. Let's not get off into the universe and all that shit. Let's not do that. I'm talking about actual things that actual people can do to get actual outcomes. Let's stay there.
Right. You're talking about you're talking about within a social system, but the point is that social system is bound to the laws of the universe. You see, so even when you talk about
oh my god,
even when you talk about putting investments in the stock market and these different things, which I do that too. I'm not dispelling any of that, but I still have to put things in a proper perspective. When you do that, the entire stock market is based on commodities. Commodities come from the natural, observable universe and ecosystem. So inherent in that is the fact that this isn't controlled. You live in a chaotic ecosystem that at any point in time, those commodities at any point in time, those commodities could be wiped out. This is this is what we know.
Hold on, guys.
Entropy.
Hold on. Let me
entropy
be wiped out.
1 second,
Concrete
guys.
super chat before I read it. Thank you so much, Concrete. She said,
"You're welcome, Boo."
And shout out to Concrete again. She said, "Congrats to Danny, Boo, and Bro. Thank you so much."
Congratulations.
Yes.
Let's do it. Hey.
Okay, go ahead, John.
So, Mary, it's important that you texture your words when you're communicating with people who aren't feeling your spiritualism. That's why Complex is coming at you in that angle, in my humble opinion. What I would say is that I agree that competition is key to economic empowerment. And when it comes to our people, however, it's important that we are not considered opponents of one another. That's my statement. I'm going to shut up.
I get the argument he's making. He's talking about the procedural aspects that it takes to actually be able to thrive in the system. And the argument I'm essentially making is that even that as it may be, the system itself is still rigged. It's still
no,
a rigged system.
Stop with the excuses, bro. Stop.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Do we have antitrust laws on the books that regulate insider trading? Do we have that? And if we hold on, if we don't, if we don't have that, then that would be more geared towards your argument. But we do have it, and the reason why is because the game is rigged. You have people who can make the stock market go up and go down as they see fit. And if that's not true, where did the antitrust laws come from? The government just made it up out of nowhere.
And yet somehow people still have the ability to make money from it. I mean, this is amazing.
Listen, I never said they didn't.
This is the reason why I don't want to.
I never said they didn't.
This is the reason why I don't want to entertain all that shit, because take that to somebody who has those kind of fucking concerns. I don't, okay? And that's what I mean, dude. Some of us out here.
So again, you're talking about yourself. You're not talking about the collective.
Goddamn right, because that's the only, I'm the only man. I am the only man that can speak for me. Do you understand this shit?
Exactly.
And I'm not going to speak for another motherfucker who does not have the fucking drive that I have. Are we clear on this? Don't ask me to hold their L's, bro. Do not ask me to hold their L's.
This is what I don't understand. When people who consider themselves individuals but constantly interject themselves in what we all view as a collective problem. Why are you here?
Because you know what? If more of the collective adopted a different mindset, we would start seeing different fucking results, bro.
That's total bullshit. What the argument that you're making?
Holy shit!
Like,
so basically, you are let me fucking nihilist. You are an
remember how you were talking about having respect for each other?
Can I respond? I haven't insulted him at all. I haven't insulted him at all.
You're right. But this is the thing. Okay.
And he keeps cutting me off. Like it's never emotional for me. It's never emotional. Like it's not personal.
You know what? This is actually my bad for actually stepping into the because I do understand that sometimes discussions get heated. I'm a part of the matriarchy shit, and so I can't help but to try to break up a fight between me. I'm putting my ass back over here. I'm getting
it's not personal for me, but I'll just put it like this.
It's not personal for me either, bro.
Okay, well that's fine. I mean, you're the one throwing ad hominems, but I don't care. Like you're entitled to your opinion. But let me just put it like this. It's just like You think the only players who make it to the big leagues are those who work the hardest or who had all the drive? Or see, it doesn't work like that. What you have is you have an indispensable number of people buying for a certain. How many positions are on a somebody has some background noise. Please mute your line. Okay, like I was saying, I'm using sports as an example. So I can't remember how many people are on an NBA roster. I think it's 72 or whatever the case is. You see, so you might have 500 brothers going to compete for 72 spots. You see, and some people aren't going to make it, and some aren't. Now, does this mean that the most talented are going to make it? Does this mean that the hardest workers are going to make it? We see stories all the time of people who made it to the league and were just too lazy. Look at DeMarcus Russell. You see, so at the end of the day, you cannot get rid of the randomness that's inherent in the system. This is entropy. And this is why when we're talking about these issues about the outcomes of Black people, we have to begin to understand that we cannot talk in absolutes, but we must talk in probabilities. And that's the problem I have with your presentation. I understand where you're coming from. I get it, but we can't speak about it in absolutes. We have to talk about it in terms of probability. That's my point.
Okay, I'll speak on it. I'll speak on it from a results-based standpoint. Will you allow me the courtesty to do that?
Sure, go ahead, brother.
Okay. See, so I'm going to throw your probability out of the window, and I won't give you any. I won't give you any like hypotheticals, right? Scenarios where I'm going to paint some. No, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just give you some real shit. So when we're talking about sports and competition, right? I own a motorsport team, right? So I have a business racing go-karts, okay? And that's an entire operation in and of itself. You see, so it wasn't like an approach where I went to the organization, the governing bodies, and I said, hey, look, I know you guys don't hardly have any Black team owners, but, can you guys just give me a fair shot, please? No, that's not what happened. I went in there and I put my money up and I got my ass kicked. And I got my ass kicked to the point where I got tired of getting my ass kicked. And then I started kicking some ass. And here's what that entailed. It entailed me learning every fucking thing I needed to know about what I was throwing money at, okay? Because I didn't like losing, right? I didn't like losing. And me going and saying, hey, look, these guys are all a second and a half, 2 seconds faster than me. Can you give me a weight break? Get the fuck out of here. It's not how it works. So what I had to do was understand that, I needed better equipment. That means I need to put more money up. I need to get more for my investment. I need to be smart about things. I need to start making business moves. And see, once I started doing that, then shit changed, okay? And I got all the fucking receipts on YouTube, and I will happily provide 3 years worth of them.
Right. I mean that's not really countering my point. I get it. Again.
No. I mean, but what you're saying is that you're saying that black men are inherently doomed to fucking fail because of the probability.
I didn't say
this
that.
is what you're telling me.
I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
You would not be sitting up. You would not be sitting up here being a fucking failure pastor right now.
I didn't. That's not what I said. What I'm actually saying is we have to begin to think. We have to begin to think in terms of the systems that we exist.
You have to practice. You have to practice. You have to do it. You have to practice.
But again, listen, brother. Just the fundamental rules of capitalism go against your point. It's impossible to have profit without law.
You're afraid to start. So you're
no. Listen at what I'm saying.
You're afraid to start. That's what you are. You're afraid to start.
Can I make the point? Listen at what I'm saying. Is there a such thing as a surefire investment? And if you tell me, yeah, you're lying.
There was no guarantee. There was no guarantee that I'd be winning. There was no guarantee. There was no guarantee. You're goddamn right. So since there's no guarantee,
let's let one at a time because I wanted you guys to finish your points.
No, you can do everything. You can do everything right and still arrive at.
Go ahead. Here too. So I'll let you guys wrap up your points and then we'll get some other people in on this.
Okay. You can do everything right and still end up with a less than desirable outcome. Is my point. You have brothers who are 100% innocent and have spent the majority of their lives in prison. Is that because they made some bad decision or some bad choice, or is that a result of systemic bias, a systemic imbalance? Come on, you see what I'm saying? Like these men didn't make any choice that put them in that outcome. And you can't tell me it's not true, because we can go look at the empirical data and see that there are brothers being exonerated for crimes that they didn't commit.
You're telling that to somebody whose dad worked for the California State Penitentiary System for 27 fucking years. Right. No. You're giving me. You see, here's the thing. I grew up in that environment to know not what the fuck to do in life.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is you have brothers who didn't do anything and end up in jail. All right, I'll yield the point. It's neither here nor there.
Thank you.
Okay, let me read this super chat real quick. Shout out to Blitz7094. He says, Sister George and Concrete Rose, I feel how y'all say GC should have booted that white boy off the panel, but we would have not heard what he truly feels about black men and women, which were clearly debunked.
Well, I already know what they truly feel about us. I don't need them to verbalize it. I don't need them in my space to tell me what they feel, because I know.
To me, the problem is we focus so much on what other people think that we don't really focus on what we feel toward one another. If a white person says it's okay to feel like this, then it's like we roll with what the white people say, how we should feel about one another. And I think that is absolute bullshit. I also wanted to point out that this manosphere space was built by black men. And whether it's a YouTube, what platform, whatever, it is still a collective group of people that actually got together and put work into building topics and talking about shit that we don't normally hear black men talk about. And so when you have somebody white who's had a voice in everything, they also control every aspect of media. So when we do get a space to where black men can speak freely, and black women, I don't think we need the opinions of others to come in between that, because I do feel what we're building is we're building a good base and a good foundation. And so when you do have people that come in and they come in for the purpose of disrupting, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having conversations with other races of people, because there's not. But when you have somebody that's coming in to be disruptive to your process and then to be disrespectful to your process, that's the problem that I have with it.
I personally don't care about what they think about us. Like, how does that's not going to pay my bills. How does that impact me? I don't need them here to tell me what they think about us. And if we just take inventory of their actions, it's obvious what they think. We don't need to invite them on panels for them to berate us and find ways in which to excuse us allowing them or permitting them in our spaces being disrespectful, to say, that we wouldn't know what they thought otherwise. Who cares what they think? And it's evident.
Exactly the point. I think we put too much stock into everything everybody else thinks, but we're gonna start.
That's because we seek validation from them. But sorry, go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm just gonna drop off. I appreciate you guys for having me on.
Thank you for coming up. We appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Once again,
so you're not gonna say Amiri's heat got too much? No, I'm just kidding. I'm keeping up shit.
I mean, I'm going live tonight. I mean, you can pull up. I mean, it's all good.
Make sure y'all go check Complex out later on tonight.
Hey, and hey, Danny, all the best to you and Curlin. Okay.
Thank you so much, Complex. I appreciate it.
All right, you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, we wanted to get some other people in here and get their take on the topic. Benjamin D'Souza, what do you think about the topic or what you've heard so far?
Peace, ladies. Peace, Sister George. Congratulations on your engagement. I seen it on Facebook. I didn't want to say anything. I just kept a low profile, but I guess Mr. Fantastic blew the lid off of it, so it's out there now. Peace, Concrete Rose. Peace, everybody. As far as Black love is concerned, I'm about to say something here that's gonna maybe controversial, but just hear me out.
I will not hesitate to drop your ass down.
He coming.
Whichever way you want to play it. Whichever way. Whichever way.
Sister Joyce, why you got so much heat for me? Why is there so much?
Sir, that's the person who bring heat to our panel every time he comes up here.
It's SR. I mean CR. She always got so much smoke for me. You see this? Yeah. Why? Please explain that to me.
You always coming with some mess. Always.
So whichever way you want to play it, go ahead, brother D'Souza. We here.
Anyway,
You do be tripping, Benjamin. You do be tripping.
okay. What I wanted to say is black love is dead.
Wow.
See, I told Benjamin I would not have.
Why would you stop him? I wanted to hear what else he had to say. Benjamin,
See ya.
And she dropped
See
it.
ya.
So I had to
Wouldn't
pause.
wanna
I'm
be
looking
ya.
at the screen like, I know she didn't just do what
no, I want to hear this mess because he always coming with some mess. Go ahead.
It's not mess. Just listen. Black love is dead. Let me just say that again. Here's why. Because love can mean anything, therefore it means nothing. So not only is it dead, but it should die. And what should replace?
Can I get him?
Wow.
Mella,
Can I get him?
can I finish? Can I finish, please?
I'm gonna get you.
Okay, whatever. It should die because what should be replaced with quote unquote black love is two people understanding their roles and moving towards a singular goal. Go ahead, Mella.
All right. First of all, love can be interpreted as an acronym. Lots of various emotions. LOVE. Lots of various emotions. Is that suitable for you? First of all, before I move on to my additional points.
No, because and I will explain why. I will explain why. Because
you just want to be oppositional for opposition's sake.
Can I finish
Is
my
that
point, please?
He's a contrarian.
I just want to interject and just explain my point, if I could, please. Thank you.
Sure.
Love to one person could mean coming home at 5 o'clock and busting their partner in the mouth because dinner isn't cooked. Love for another person.
That's an emotion.
Hold on.
That's based in an emotion, right?
Hold on. Love for another person means coming home and even if dinner isn't cooked, having the patience to be like, oh, well, that's fine. We can order a pizza.
That's based in an emotion.
These definitions could vary by person to person. Therefore, it means anything. And if it means anything, it means nothing.
That's what emotions are.
Can we at least agree?
Various emotions.
So you're agreeing with
lots
me?
of various emotions. And when you find when you find someone in your life that agrees with a particular list of emotions and that are congruent with your list of emotions, y'all can kick it just fine. It's love. See, this is what people get hung up on, this word called love. And for you to say that love is dead, in my humble opinion, I think you don't know what love is, brother.
Mella.
Oh.
Damn,
black love.
What are we doing?
It should not be about a lot of various emotions. It should be about a specific goal that two people set out for a plan and a strategy for their life and their progeny. That's what it should be about. All they gotta do is
sit down and talk about it.
And love
That's
has
all they
nothing
gotta
to do with that.
It don't have to be dead. You said black love is dead. Brother, you wrong for that.
Yes, it is.
And Benjamin, what you describing? You don't think there's any love in that?
Love in a man coming home and smacking his wife in the mouth because she didn't cook dinner.
Not that foolishness you first showed up here with. No, I'm talking about what you finally ended up with.
To some people, that's love.
That's not
okay.
love.
Well.
I've never hit a woman in my life.
Hi.
No, Benjamin, stop it. Okay, that is not love because love is none of those things. You remember what the definition of love is? It's patient, it's kind. It doesn't boast, it doesn't brag, blah blah blah. The point of all of that is that is a person who has anger issues that need to go to anger management.
Do I have? I don't have.
Why are we falling for trolling?
That's crazy.
Why are we?
Put that on me. I don't have any anger issues.
Why are we falling for trolling?
I have never hit a woman in my entire life. Not since since.
So then, why would that even be a thought, though? Why are you?
Because that's real. That's
On
real.
record.
Trolling.
You haven't
That's
hit
real.
a woman
Trolling
on
that you're
record.
falling
Exactly.
for.
You
He
have.
definitely is
Be
trolling.
quiet, Miss J. Nobody wants to hear you right now. I got the
Actually,
He's
floor.
we
Thank
trolling
you.
when you're
You didn't have
falling
to
for
say
it.
it. I know that you're
So
trolling. That's what
Be
I'm saying. I
respectful.
ignored the
There
first
are
part because you brought up
One at a
dysfunctional
men. I was talking
time.
men,
about what you ended up on.
One at a
and
time.
there are dysfunctional men and dysfunctional women who define love in various ways.
That don't make it the
Therefore,
truth. That's just their definition.
therefore, I could talk to you. I don't know what you think love is. I could talk to Concrete Rose. I don't. She could have an interior, completely different definition of love than me. Same for SG. Same for Amiri. Same for Miller. Same for Chaos Reigns. Same for BM. Same. We could all express love and view love in different ways. Therefore, it means everything. Therefore, it means
Man.
nothing. So let's put this black love thing to rest, and let's focus
That
on
sounds so miserable. That
it.
sounds like a
It
miserable,
sounds like work.
sad,
I know.
Why are
dating
y'all
life.
falling
Your
for this?
Freudian.
It sounds like work.
I
I
know,
get
right?
it. It sounds like
Excuse me,
work.
people. I actually want to move on to the next question. Okay. So, black men, do you feel that you have done a very good No, I take that back. Do you feel that you've done a good job in protecting black women?
Can I go?
Hell yeah.
Go ahead, Amir.
I think that's a. I kind of think that can be a loaded question. I think it's a
Oh, it's
multi-variable.
like a mug, but
Yeah, I think.
you need everybody to answer.
Right. I think that it's a multi-variable answer. I think in many respects, black men have done, their level best to protect black women, and then on certain instances, I think in many ways we failed to protect black women. But the bottom line is, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You see what I mean?
Facts.
And so,
Facts.
many, I think
Wow.
black men and black women have, we have two different ideas of what protection is. Many times, what sisters call protection is reaction. Many sisters want reaction. They want to operate as individuals, this idea of agency, and they want to engage in behaviors that many brothers, I think, do find problematic, and that many times bring them to undesirable outcomes. And then they want to task black men with rectifying those outcomes, and they call that protection. But the thing about protection is that protection is never reactionary. It's proactive by nature. You see? And so I think many times that's where it is. If a man attempts to protect his woman, she's going to call him controlling. And she has an entire social apparatus and institutional narrative that will back that up. The idea or a notion of a man being controlling. You see?
Ladies.
And so in many ways, sisters have adopted those philosophies and those ideologies that have made it difficult for black men to operate as protectors. You see? So that's my answer on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a long way of saying no.
Okay.
If you say so, the question was for
This
men.
is that.
And your lane.
Wait a minute, because I want to get the answer from men, but women, ladies, I have a question for us too. So I do want all the men to answer that question.
All right, can I go ahead?
Absolutely.
All right, so yes, black men are protecting their black women. Now the problem with your question, and first, congratulations on your engagement. The problem with the question is, who are the black women needing protection from? Are they causing a reaction from their man to where they need protection from the man they're with because of the woman's actions? Or are you saying that, whites, Asians, and Mexicans are attacking black women and the black men are doing nothing about it?
I'm saying protection against a system. So I guess I would be talking about okay. So to me, I think white people own the majority of this country. White people run the majority of this country, right?
Right.
So when you have another race of men that are in power of your people, then I wonder, okay, do men think about protection in that aspect of gaining power, or is it like, and it kind, to me it kind of does start from like a building of families and communities and stuff, and so to me that helps you rise to a certain power. And when you're not in a certain power, are your people unprotected? Do we feel like we've done a good job of protecting our people? Do men feel like they've done a good job with protecting their
SG,
people?
SG,
Okay.
from just real quick, from elementary school, what is the what is the number one thing that will start a fight?
Oh
Disrespect.
my God.
No,
Talking
provoking.
about somebody, mama. Talking about somebody,
Exactly.
mama.
Thank
Provoking.
you, Amiri. Thank you. Thank you. So from
Provoking.
elementary school, we are taught, trained, and bred. If you say something about my mama, my sister, if you disrespect one of my female cousins, we are going to come to blows. I think black men protect black women too much, to the point to where they have carte blanche to act a complete ass in public.
Thank you.
Yes, we give you too much protection.
I think there's some truth to that. I really do.
See, the
So
the reason
Because because
I'm
because
waiting.
because hold
is
on,
that
hold on.
just black men, or
Because
is that just men in general?
hold
That
on,
just black men?
that's black men. Because you see no other group.
Oh, that's why.
You see no other group of women act in the manner in which black women do.
Oh,
You can go on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you want to go, and see black women at a restaurant in a mall slinging fucking chairs over the counter, just acting
South
a complete.
South America, the Latin women literally are known as the softest
No, we
commodity.
not
Wait a
talking
minute,
about
wait a
that.
They
minute,
have a
let him
death
get his point.
squad in South America where they kill people. Like, come on, dude. That's literally
Hold
South
on,
America.
Can,
what?
can,
Yeah, in South
Can I
America,
finish?
I
the
would
Latin
Can I
women.
finish?
love to say
Because we're talking about
something.
the U.S. We're not
They
talking about
kill men.
South
Like
America.
they get paid. The women are hitmen. They're hit women. Excuse me, hit
who
women.
pays them though?
Okay, can I
The
finish? Can I
oh
finish
no,
my
no,
point?
no,
Okay, we're
no,
not talking
Actually,
about South
Benjamin,
America. Can I finish my
go
point?
ahead and finish your point, Benjamin, because I want to get
Thank
chaos,
you.
and then I'm gonna go to my question for the women. Hurry,
I
not
have a
hurry.
couple more
Thank
too
you.
to. I have a couple more too to get in
What
there,
I
but
don't know.
Thank
Where did
you.
y'all go with all this? Where did y'all go with
Reed,
this?
I want
Yeah,
to ask
where did you
my
go? You went
question.
completely
I'm
off
just
the
saying, you just
reservation,
don't
sir.
try to make it sound like it's only just black people that do it. There's everybody that
All
hold
does
on,
it.
hold
right.
on, hold
Well,
on, guys.
whatever.
Danny, what were you
Right.
saying?
I was saying that my next question ties into this one, so it's like a two part. But I that's it.
Can
Okay.
I finish my point? Just real quick, real
Sure,
quick.
sure, sure.
Like I said, you see no other group of peoples in the number that you see, quote unquote, our women conducting themselves in public in the manner in which they do. Now, given our elementary school style training, that if you say something about mama, sister, cousin, that we're gonna become violent, and then you see our women today, 20 years later, conducting themselves in a manner in which they are conducting themselves in public, which is wantonly disrespectful, wantonly aggressive. My synopsis is we give these women too much protection. We need to take our hands off, let them catch some lumps,
That's
and see how
insane.
that. Yeah, it is insane, but hey, I mean,
But listen to what he's saying. It's
get your
insane because
lumps,
it's happening.
It's insane. The
get your
notion that we
lumps.
get too much protection is insane. But
Okay,
Oh
go
but
yes, you
ahead.
do.
this is why
Yes,
I
you do.
asked
Okay,
earlier.
I don't
This
want to. I want y'all to
Get your
answer so she
lumps.
can ask her next question.
Get
So I won't.
get your lumps, and then come back and say, you know what, we're sorry. Maybe we need to show you more deference.
So like a child, let them feel the fire. Let them put their hands on the stove
You
to feel
gotta
the
touch
yes.
the
fire.
stove, basically.
Okay, okay, that's an interesting standpoint. Chaos Rain, did you have anything?
Um, from what I'm saying about this thing about protection, I'm saying like Amir said, they're looking for reaction. Yeah, there's some truth in that. I will say this. The only protection a lot of sisters gonna get now in this environment is either they're with their actual husbands or their brothers that they know that will bust in their ass. But outside this environment, if you're carrying yourself a certain way, unlike certain other race of women, which I wouldn't want to hear that, then you put yourself at very risk in this environment that we do not control.
I would say, as men, we could do better protecting older people and children. That I say we can give that more than a serious, more look at protection, because they can't really defend themselves. But right now, from what I'm seeing and what I'm watching, I'm very disgusted that narcissists are not only acting masculine, but also taking on physical aspects as well. I don't know, man. It's very hard to see any man right now at this stage do anything, you know, especially if most are women that don't have any respect anyway. And when we listen to any man when this tell him say, that's fine, sis, but I got this, cool down and stuff. And then not even doing that, then my hands are tied. So that's my only answer to that.
Okay. Shout out to Aizen Sama. He says protection, like various other things, are a privilege, not a right. As humans, we deserve nothing and must earn everything. Only through earning something can it truly be appreciated. Nothing given is. Thank you so much. And shout out to Jedi Mac for the Cash App. So much appreciated, brother. My next question is to the women. Ladies, have we done a good job being submissive to black men?
Absolutely not.
I said for the ladies, sir.
No.
What was the question?
Have black women done a good job in being submissive to black men?
No.
Damn, so y'all just gonna throw it in like that?
Mean,
like
yes.
what the hell?
Mella,
Yes.
what more can we say? We can't
Give us
defend
a life raft.
Mella, you say we
Yes.
have done a good job at being submissive toward our men? Collectively.
Yes.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding, because
Yes.
I'm like, where are they at?
Elaborate. Please elaborate, Mella. I need you to explain this to me. Please.
There are marriages occurring so often every day of the year.
That's not an indication of
That's-
submission.
Exactly. But go
Hold
ahead.
on,
Let
not
Mella
a brother.
answer the question.
Hold on now. What brother is going to actually propose to a woman that he doesn't have faith in her submission
They do it
when
every day.
needed?
A brother who's been trained to worship the feminine
Nah.
I have
That's
some
a
brothers
grown.
doesn't
No,
know
no,
brothers,
that's a grown. No,
brothers
you
who
wrong.
will-
You don't believe. You don't believe in
Hold
black
on.
love anyway. So
Hold
forget
on.
you.
Black men
Hold
are
Forget you.
requiring women
You don't
to
believe in
submit
black
before
love.
they,
Forget you.
ask for their hands in
BMT, what you got
marriage.
to say?
Black men
They
are
don't
not
believe in black
requiring
love.
women to submit before they ask for their hands in marriage.
Exactly.
They're just not.
Exactly.
But would that even
That's
be in
why-
the best interest of the Black American community if that did happen?
For women to submit to if they're
Yeah.
submitting to leaders and proven leaders. And
But I'm saying, no,
Well,
I get
there
that
are
part, but I'm
pillars.
saying as a collective, from what you hear daily,
to
There
is
are
that even a good
pillars.
idea?
To some of these
Concrete.
fools.
Concrete.
There
Can
are
I-
pillars
I
that
mean,
we are
someone
not.
said love. Someone said love is a version of love is someone coming home and punching you in the face. Is that a good
No,
idea? To
I
be
know,
subjected
right?
to?
it
There
means
are
every,
pillars.
no,
Is it a good
that-
idea to be
that's a
subjected to
fact.
someone
That's a
talking about
fact
you need to
because
be
love
subjugated?
means
Benjamin, what were you?
anything.
What were
It
you?
means
about
I'm
to
just
ask?
saying,
anything and
I find
everything.
it amazing. I asked this
Benjamin,
question
what were
to
you
the
about to
women
ask,
and
though? I know. You
I'm
know how
sorry.
we do.
Go ahead. Go
We
ahead. Go
we
ahead.
ghetto up
SG.
in here. I wanted to know what he was gonna ask though.
Okay.
This is
Like
for the women.
I
You're
know.
right.
I
You're
wanted
right.
to entertain
I
this
just have to.
nonsense. Yeah, I mean,
I just have to
blame
control
me.
the conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
Just,
Have all the ladies answered then? We said yes. Somehow Mella. I mean, we said no.
the
Somehow
ladies,
Mella
but Mella
said
saying no.
yes. And I don't know if Miss J actually answered either.
I said yes. Mella said yes.
Mella said yes. We said no. Me and Topaz both said no.
How?
What about Miss J?
No, I'm just saying. Well,
Answer the question.
okay, but I'm saying
He
if
said y'all
I'm
ain't gave
saying
us
no,
nothing to
no,
submit to.
no, I'm just saying no, and for a very good reason.
Okay. Okay.
What is that
Concrete,
reason?
okay.
What is that reason? If
We
I
don't
could?
have to
Yeah,
dialogue
elaborate.
on this part. Go ahead, Concrete.
Well,
No, I mean, listen to the guy talk and ask the question. You want to submit?
yeah. You
You
heard
would
what
willingly
Benjamin,
bow
you
down to
actually
someone who
asked
says that
question.
version of love is punching you in the face?
Right.
and think that's a good answer?
That's not what I said. Hold on. Stop.
That is what
not.
you said.
No,
That is
that
what
is
we
not.
heard.
That is
No,
not
no,
what I
no,
said.
that's not what
Benjamin Sugar said.
Don't walk it
Thank
back.
you.
Let
Thank you.
That's not
Benjamin
what
Don't walk
Benjamin
it
Sugar
back.
said.
We heard what you said.
He did not
Can I
say that.
clarify my
and then
statement?
I'll ask my question afterwards.
Let me clarify my statement.
Benjamin, a lot of people have a hard time listening.
Hold on.
Wait a minute, sir. This ain't your show.
I said love can mean anything to anybody. So yeah, to one person, love to a female could mean when my man comes home, I'm not gonna clean anything, I'm not gonna cook anything. So when he does come home, he can slap me in the face. That's love to that woman. Love could mean to the man, oh, when I come home, I'm gonna nitpick everything and make sure that if I find something that is not to my specificity, that I'm gonna slap her in the face. Love.
We're not interested in your
hold on.
fantasies.
Stop.
We're not
I'm
interested
saying
in
the
your
point that you
Let
even
me finish.
the fact that you even bring that up shows your mindset.
She is
Benjamin,
casting.
The fact you bring that up is
Benjamin, you're still
the
making
fact
her
you bring
point
that
for
up
her.
says everything.
You're still making her point for her because you're saying that we don't even understand what love truly is.
I'm not done. Can I finish?
Go ahead.
And on the other hand, love can mean coming home to a soft, warm, comforting environment for either the man and the woman. Now you have a situation where you have a woman who wants to have a chaotic home environment pairing with a man who wants to come home to a comforting environment, or vice versa. So it's meaning anything to anybody at any time. There is no clear definition of what love is.
He talking about his mood swings.
So with that said, we need to destroy this whole concept of black love and move to black family planning.
Black love involves black family planning, but I want to
say
ask
that
my
doesn't mean that that's the definition of love. Two people who believe that are
Miss
damaged
J,
and they need
that
to
was a
change
very
that. That does
slick.
not make it
That
the
was
right
a
definition.
very slick
You
way
confirm what
of
I
trying
said.
to cast
quickly,
me
because
you
as
confirm what I said.
as a abuser.
I can force
he got
you.
mood
That
swings.
was very slick.
Guys, I
That was
want to
very
ask my
slick.
question because I can.
I do want to
why
speak
would
on
you
that. I
say
do want to
that?
speak on that submission
Mela,
piece.
why would you disrespect me like that? I didn't disrespect you. I didn't call you a drunkard. I didn't call you an old haggard
Benjamin.
drunkard.
Benjamin, why you always gotta set it off?
So why would you say I had mood
Baby,
swings,
call
though?
me what you
Call,
want.
bring it
Just
down if
don't
you're not
hold up my check.
Listen,
But
call me
that's
what
all
you
I'm saying.
want.
Why
Just
would you
don't
do
hold
that to
back my
me
check.
and I didn't
Danny,
do
can
that
you
to
mute the
you,
panel?
though?
Yes, ma'am. I don't want your mood swings.
You saying I have mood
Where is
swings, but I
Benjamin?
didn't.
There he goes.
Mute the panel, please, because they doing too much.
Concrete.
So I wanted to ask my question. I know the guys wanted to get in on this submission piece. Let me ask my question, and you can answer. And my question is two parts too, but I'm going to ask just one part of it, and you can, with your answer to my question, if you want to first start off with your response to what we were talking about on submission, you could do that and then answer my question. So really quickly, my question is, there's a clear division between black men and black women. We already know that. With that being said, who needs to take the lead on bridging the gap, and what steps actually need to be taken? You can answer the part about, if you want to chime in on what you wanted to say about submission first, do that, and then answer my question. So who needs to take the lead on bridging the gap, and what steps need to be taken is my question.
I'll just answer that. It's the men who need to take the initiative. By definition, that's what manhood is. Manhood is never reactionary. By definition, it's proactive. You see, it's being out in front of somebody. Has some background noise. Again, please mute your line. Every time I talk, it's some type of background noise. But
if you're not talking, please mute up.
But as I was saying, the initiative is with black men. Because by definition, manhood is proactive. It's an exercise in showing initiative. And I think this is something that sisters, including Cynthia G, correctly point out when it comes to many brothers. They operate from a reactionary disposition when by definition, men are initiators and women are responders. You see now, and what does that mean? What it means? Can I please finish? Why are you interrupting me?
Could you please just repeat that? Cynthia G says, "What about black men about being reactionary?"
They show no initiative in doing the things that men are supposed to do.
Okay,
and I think if you just take a panoramic view, there's a lot of meat on the bone when she makes that claim. Now let me get to the point and say what it means. What does this look like? What I'm talking about when I say black men must show the initiative. What it means is that, see, when you talk about the division that exists between black men and black women, you're talking about a division that's not really ours. What it is we act as proxies for white ideals and white institutional narratives. And see, when there is intra-cultural group conflict amongst whites, black people are served as the collateral damage. So when America has the cold, black society has the flu. You see, so in our social spaces, it's hyperized. Like, think about this. We make all of these, I spoke on this earlier, we make all of these qualifiers and litmuses for what black women must do to get protection, for what black men must do to get respect or submission, right? And many times these qualifiers and this litmus is solely predicated on what we know of as the gender roles. But through the system of chattel slavery, we were the ones who were doing the gender roles. It was commonplace for the sister to be the nanny. White women didn't really have to do anything. It was black women doing everything. In terms of building the society, building the wealth that created this global economy, it was black men who were doing the work, who were the artisans. You see, who had all of the skills. They were the skilled labor. You see, but the moment we became emancipated, we began to be sold these tropes and these ideas about gender roles that neither one of us were able to fulfill from a systemic institutional perspective. You see, and so because of that, now we've internalized this, and so some 100 some odd years later, we now view each other as fundamentally being unworthy of respect or even love. You see, so this is where it comes from. Can I please finish? This is where it comes from. Now, just on the submission piece, and I'm gonna be quick. When you're talking about submission, I think what happens is we think submission is a special female behavior or trait when we know that it's not. Again, we buy into these narratives. So you can't talk about submission and black women not being submissive enough and then talk about this idea of a social contract. See, it doesn't work like that. If this stuff is female nature, then you don't need a contract for it. She would just do it by nature. But it's not. These things are socially and culturally ingrained and interwoven into our psychology and into our biases, and we buy into these biases, and then we use these biases to disqualify black women and to disqualify black men. So if black men want to be the head, they want to be in charge, they want to be the leaders, then they need to form for themselves what is an adequate representation of black manhood and black masculinity, and in turn, you can then begin to formulate concepts about what's adequate manifestations of black womanhood. That's something that we have failed to do. Many times we're acting as proxies for white ideas and narratives.
Before anybody responds, let me read the super chat. Shout out to Black Wizard. He says, true love is objective, not relative, and requires trust. Love can be defined by perspective, but in order for something to be relative, it has to be relative to something, i.e. relative in true north. Black people don't trust each other. Thank you so much, Black Wizard. Go ahead, guys.
Oh, that's deep. So, Amiri, how is this supposed to embark?
You said, how is it supposed to what?
Embark. How would
what?
Well, we have to put down these ideas. See, what we do is
how
we know. I'm about to tell you how. I'm telling you how.
Break it down like a fraction. Break it down like a fraction.
Let him talk.
See what's happened is white males. We understand white males as the dominant social group. You see, and so what they've done is they've peddled ideas and notions into the institutional narratives that govern the society that protect their privileged position. You see, and so everybody else is reacting and operating off of that. You see, even when you look at the very founding documents of this country, it says we find these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. Now we know that when they said that all was very much subjective. They were talking about all wealthy, land-owning white men. Many times what we do is we make arguments of class and we confuse and we conflate it with gender. You see, not understanding that male and female are exist on a continuum of humanity. That one isn't subordinated to the other. They must work together in order for anything to exist. The inherent dualistic nature of the universe demonstrates this. Male and female is the creative force, but it's commonplace to hear black men say things like black men are the builders. But men have never built by themselves. It was always the woman right there building with them. Like when those European colonizers came over here,
Nigga,
they wasn't over here just they wasn't over here just can you please let me finish my point?
No.
Can you please let me finish? Can you please let me finish my point?
No, you're gonna let him finish his point, and then
if you disagree, you can disagree, but you won't get this work. When those European colonizers came over here, you don't think the women was out there working in the field too? Those white women, when those white women came over here in stocks and bonds, but you'll talk about submission as if it's just endemic to female nature when it's not. They did
come over here as indentured servants, but they did not do the bloody work of going into combat. We
ain't talking about combat. We're not talking about. I'm talking about
That's how civilizations are built and maintained.
That's not how. No, civilization
through war.
That's that's not. No, it's not. Civilizations are built and maintained through. Civilizations are.
Mary, just answer her question, bro. Like, she said, how do we do it? Just explain to her.
If I don't know who this is interrupting me. But the bottom line is that war is merely a manifestation of trying to get commodities. So it's agriculture. It's agriculture, food producing, and women are inherent food producers. So your argument is flawed. See, the first thing that a child needs is what? Milk. You don't produce milk. Women produce milk. You see, so the basis of all civilizations is food and food production, not war. So that's, and again, when you're saying that, you're coming from a white ideological paradigm. That's incorrect.
Hunting is a
Benjamin Hush. Get down,
Mary.
Mary.
A component of war. Women are not going to get out there
and
get a bison on the plains.
In warm climates, the primary mode of food production is agriculture, not hunting. So in Africa, for example, the division of labor was more
talking about Africa. We're not from
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're not talking about any. We're not talking about any locale. We're not talking about any locale. The bottom line is, if those men needed to build by themselves, why did they bring the women?
All right, let's bring it back to. They said, "What do we need to do from here?" So, let's keep it in the 20th century. 21st century.
We have to begin to put down these ideas and these notions that have been peddled to us as what is normative and what is functional. While at the same time they're telling you that, they're doing everything to make sure you can't live up to it. And so because you can't live up to it, you begin to blame each other, not understanding that this is a part of a system, an ecosystem, an ecology that operates and functions and drives a wedge between black men and black women. And we'll pick up these banners and these mantras through identity politics that drive a wedge between each other. And so this is why you have what you have today.
Hey, Benjamin, got milk? You got milk?
Okay, we wanted to get some other people in regarding the topic too. We wanted to get responses from some of the other folks on the channel or on the panel. Mike, did you have a chance to give your response?
No. All right. So the question was, who should take the lead?
Yes.
And I will
what
say
steps should be taken.
Okay, I will say the men have taken the lead throughout all of our lifetimes. For everybody in the chat and in the panel, men have been doing their damnedest to get ahead in life as the best as they know how. Now, what's happening is they take the lead and the women are not following that lead. It is not up to par to that woman. So the men, as we see, here in this small space that we have, we have all these groups, the MGTOW, the SYSBM, the IBMOR, everybody's, doing something. But if they cannot find a woman to follow them, they're moving on without them. And that's why we see more and more Black women aging into loneliness. So when you guys say, what should we do? The men have already set the stage. Okay, the men are doing what all they know how to do the best way they know how. So if somebody is not willing to follow that lead, they're not going to sit around and wait for them. You know, that's like, and much love to you sisters, but look at the title of this stream. It says the battle of the sexes. That means that just that word battle means that you either see yourself as equal or above the person you are battling.
I started to use the balance of the sexes, but I was like, y'all too mean for that shit. Shout out to D Quinn and tell he said tell Amiri to answer that lady's question.
But yeah, so that's what I was saying. What needs to be done? What needs to be done is being done. Now it's up to the women if they want to be a part of that. You know, jump on board. If not, then there's nothing I can do more to help you. If I'm offering my services and this is what I'm good at and this is what I can do, and it's not enough for you, then so be it. That's the way. That's what's actually happening right now as we speak. Because you can go just in the manosphere alone, we've got great men doing a lot of great things. And even those men get pushback from women. The bullshit that comes out of Sinji's mouth, okay? We are in a country that is led by white men. Okay? Black babies are getting killed. More black babies have been killed than are black people alive in America, just America alone. That's not black men doing
due to black women.
That's not black men doing that. So if the black woman does not jump on board, that's not our problem to face now.
So you don't see how that's socioeconomically driven, though? You don't see
it if it's not.
But we don't see how that's socioeconomically driven.
Okay, so check this out. We just sat here and celebrated Sister George and Curlin coming together. Sister George has jumped on Curlin's bandwagon, right?
More than
she has joined him. She has. What I'm saying is, she has joined him in his adventure in life. Okay, so and we all sat here and said, "Hey, congratulations! That's great." We applauded that. That is what needs to happen. Curlin found somebody that is willing to join him.
22 million abortions.
That's not more than the number of black people in the
if you factor in the replacement rate of those potential babies that would have been born, then yes, it would be close to 80 million.
Right. How are you on one side saying that black women are
down? So yeah, math is hard.
On one side, y'all are talking all this mad stuff about how we have a whole bunch of
babies. Math is hard.
You know what, Miss J? I think you have an excellent point.
I'm saying you have all this talk about we're having all these babies, we're taking y'all to child support, we're on welfare, we irresponsibly breeding, and the next minute talking about y'all should have had more babies.
Yeah, you're not talking to those guys right now.
You're not talking to those guys. We're not been talking about that.
And how many of those abortions were paid for by the fathers?
We're not even
how many abortions were paid for by the fathers?
We're talking about 22 million with a potential of 80 million. It could have been 80 million.
All right. Hold up. Ben, let me get this real quick.
Now. You don't care about the ones that were
What are you talking about?
The ones that were born.
You don't know, man.
Ben, let me get this real quick, Ben.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Just shout out to Uncle Ruckus show for the super chat. He says, from the white man to y'all. Thank you so much, Uncle Ruckus.
All right, Ben, let me get this real quick. Ms. J, those women that have men paying for their abortions, if they continue to follow that man who does not want to see his bloodline increase, does not want to grow, then that man is not a leader.
Mike, Planned Parenthood is free, brother.
No, hold on.
That's a totally different argument that was made. So you're backtracking.
Hold on. So that man, okay, who said,
there's a lot of that men there. There's a lot of them.
Okay,
He's
so
actually
abortion is
trying
legal
to
right now just because
imply
women want to have it.
what I
One
what I
at
that
a
it's
time, guys.
Don't have that argument. That don't even make sense. We all know
okay,
the truth.
this
What
what
if
I'm
he's
trying to.
people
trying
pay
to
for dates, but they'll pay
imply
for an abortion?
So is
that
that
it's the
man building
woman.
and
Don't
growing,
act like
or
that.
is he trying to stay stagnant? Is he building and growing? Like you guys say, you want a
Okay,
man
but you're
that's looking for
again,
power.
you're flipping the
Blame it
topic.
on
You're
the
flipping the
woman,
topic.
right?
No,
You're
Yeah.
flipping the
I'm trying to
topic, and that's
explain.
not
Yeah.
gonna make sense.
I'm
We all
trying
know
to
the truth.
understand.
Yeah, we're
The
blaming
children are not
22
won on both
million
sides.
aborted
Stop
Hold
babies.
faking.
on, guys.
Stop faking.
22
Let
million
Mike finish his
aborted
response
babies
because we want to get
And there would be
everybody else
more if it
in.
is
was up
This
your
to
is
the men.
fault.
chaos.
That
There
is
would
your
be
fault.
more if it was up to the men.
22 million aborted babies is your fault, ladies.
BMT, we got to get some other people in here too. So
Yeah,
BMT,
I was asking
did
what's
you
the
hear the
question.
question?
No, I didn't get to
Okay,
hear the question.
so
Everybody was screaming.
the question was who should make the first move basically on bridging the gap and what steps should be taken.
Oh, okay. Well, I believe as men that they'll kind of be us to just bridge the gap because literally, if you build it, they'll come. It's kind of common sense. You build something, people are going to come around you. Like that's just how it's
Thank
always
you.
been. As a man, if I build it, I built my surrounding around me. And it wasn't hard for me to go have the space occupied with family because I built it, put a family. That's the first community, and then from there on, I started making interactions with other networks, and then boom, it was done. So now I'm with the school board and different other stuff. I'm already networked with, and they respect me as a man in my community because of that. So I show and set the example. Men set the example, and people follow. So it's literally, I mean, it's just all it is to it. So let's keep it
Common
moving.
sense.
Well, common sense not common anymore. So we gotta move past that.
True.
So that it. I mean, that's why everybody's quiet, or just that. Like men.
Hey, I see Obsidian. Hey.
I mean, are men building homes? Are men building households? That's usually what a man does.
If
Men
you
doing that.
build it, they will come. It's
If
as
the
simple
woman
as that.
follows him, he will build a household. If not, he's going to continue on his mission in life alone until he finds someone that will follow his
Let's
lead.
not make excuses for a man's responsibility
I ain't building
lacking.
shit for
Let's
nobody
not do
who ain't
that.
riding with me.
Okay. I have another question for you guys. But shout out to Obsidian. Hey, Obsidian, how are you?
Hey, oh,
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, what's going on, Obsidian?
Fantastic. Did you have anything on Obsidian?
Peace out,
Yeah,
man.
I did. Well, first of all, I want to heard the good news, so congratulations. I hope everything works out for you, Danielle. And
Thank you so much. And I'm not pregnant. Go ahead.
so you know,
shotgun wedding.
so in light of the good news, I have this question because I've been listening to this conversation here. Okay. So let me make sure I got this straight. Danielle is engaged. Amiri is married. Mela is married. Mike was married, but he's with someone now.
13-year relationship right now.
Okay.
What the hell?
BMT's married. Concrete Rose is with someone. So most people, I can't be certain about Benjamin or Chaos, but let's say for the sake of argument.
Nah, neither both of them are single.
All right. So let's say
Don't say it like that.
but let's
Oh, sorry.
You just had too much bass in your voice when you said it like that.
Go ahead, Obsidian. I'm sorry.
yeah.
A
So
man with sensitivity.
oh, okay. Yeah. So there's two guys here that are single. Okay, fine. All right. So see, here's the problem that I'm having, Miss J. I want to ask you a question. I am not saying that the general proposition of there being black men in existence who are ill prepared and incompetent to be a husband, a father, or a mate. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I don't disagree with any black woman or black man for that matter who wants to point that out. I would like to believe I could be wrong on this. I would like to believe that observation is a given at this late juncture. I would like to believe that everybody can agree that such black men exist. With that being said, Miss J, all the women here, with you being the lone exception, have managed to find a good black man. By hook or crook, they've done it. I'm just trying to wonder, why is it so hard for you to do it?
Man,
Hey,
get
man,
a
if you
room.
want to cuss out
You get a room with her and get it over with. Get a room with her.
I'm not
and
even.
get it over
I'm
with.
not even. No,
What
I'm
the
not even gonna
hell?
do that. I'm not even gonna do that because the simple fact of the matter is the vast majority of black people are exactly in the same position I'm in. You want to sit there and talk shit and act like I'm the exception when we all know that's not the case. Black people are the least married, we have the shortest marriages, so forth and so on. And what I was sitting there, what I was talking about was the talking point was about the black leadership and somehow putting all the abortions on black people when we all know that's a piece of shit. And that's a total and complete lie. There would be more abortions in this country if we sat there and followed certain leadership.
To the black women.
I'm just saying, how many? No, let me finish. No, let me finish. I'm just saying, how many times have we heard people complaining about the fact that I didn't ask her to get pregnant. She went and had the baby when I said I didn't even want it. I shouldn't have to pay for it. Now all of a sudden you're talking about 22 million abortions. Hell, there'll be 50 millions up to y'all. Be real. Own it. Don't put that on. It's on both people.
Okay.
Both abortions on both people. Don't sit there and put it on one side. The same thing about black marriages. It's on both sides. We are the least married. Stop trying to come up here and front act like everybody is.
I agree.
I am the majority.
Okay.
Be real.
Okay.
You're in his crosshairs.
So let's be real.
That's perfectly fine. He's right there with me. You ain't married either.
Okay.
Talking all that cash shit. You ain't married.
Okay. But the discussion ain't about me. It's about you.
Okay, and you came up here talking. Okay, and I answered the question, and the conversation was about both sides.
Being so
defensive. The conversation was about both sides. You make it personal. Don't come up here talking cash shit.
Concrete. Now you know I'm not good at handling conflict.
Why are you so defensive? I am simply making
the child.
No, you came up here trying to start nonsense as usual, and I'm giving you pushback. Don't try to act like you're innocent. You knew exactly what you were doing. The conversation was about both genders, not about black women, and you decided to make it personal, being stupid. You ain't married. Don't talk about black marriages. You ain't married.
No, I'm not.
Propose to your longtime women first and get married, and then talk. Other than that, hush.
I didn't say marriage.
I love this shit.
I didn't say anything about marriage. I said nothing about marriage.
LTR.
Well, Mr. J never said if she had a man or not, and I think Mr. J has been very private about her private life.
Hang on.
No, you're just trying to be You're just trying to be rude. That's all it is.
Hang on here.
You knew it. No, you're just trying to talk shit.
Hang on here.
You've been here for 5 seconds.
Cut the nonsense. Trying to percolate you.
I'm just saying. I already know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Stop trying to be phony.
Hang on.
If you're gonna say something, say it. Don't try to be phony and act like you're just trying to be something you're not.
Your man. Where is he?
He ain't with you.
You have a man.
What you care? Is he sitting beside you? Is he sitting beside you?
Not personal. It's about the collective.
I'm just saying, is he sitting beside you? What you care?
Is your man in Philadelphia, or is he in your nightstand? Is he in your nightstand? Where is he?
Again, he ain't with you.
Now you being uncouth. Now you wanna result to being uncouth.
Does your man take Duracells or what?
Why are y'all
Benjamin?
Really, Benjamin?
Why?
Stop it, Benjamin.
Now, see, if she said it's the same place your lady was, she'll be wrong.
Let's stay away from asking personal questions. She does
not. What I'm saying, but the same exact men who talk all this nonsense are the same exact men talking about they want respect.
But
you want something you can't even give.
Hold it.
And that's exactly why you don't get submission or respect, because you don't deserve it.
I don't talk about that.
Oh shit.
I don't talk about any of that.
Yeah, I said it.
No.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not. I'm talking about the collective, all of y'all. We have all these thousands of conversations. How come black women don't respect us? How come they don't submit? Because you don't deserve it. That's fine.
Wait a minute. Can we
You
have
don't deserve it.
Obsidian read the super chat? Obsidian, would you read that for us?
What was that?
Read the super chat, man.
What super chat? I didn't see anything.
Go look at it, bro. It's up here for you. It's specifically for you.
Oh, well, how about
That's
that?
a good strategy.
Yeah.
How about that? I mean, this is my thing.
You know damn well you don't say it like that.
How about that? Well, here's my thing. We started the conversation meaning we. I'm saying me. I started the conversation. Congratulate someone on a personal life milestone. It seems to me, and this is the reason why I'm going here. It seems to me that we keep talking about these collective issues because it's a real good way to keep from having to talk about a personal one. Relationships are inherently personal by definition. And there are black people that are just not good at it. Black men and black women. They're just not good at it. Relationships are a skill. And a lot of us don't want to admit that we don't have relationship skill. Men and women.
Including yourself? Yourself?
No, absolutely not. I've had the same woman for almost 12 years.
So whom would you be referring to?
Pardon?
Whom would you be referring to?
I'm talking about my lady friend. She's been with me for almost 12 years. Without
No, I'm talking about the accusation that is encapsulated in your statement. You're referring to someone on this panel, correct?
Well, I already made it clear who I was referring to. I'm talking to Miss J.
All right. I find that is very.
I said all the ladies here already have.
That's not cool. That's not cool.
If I said to Benjamin, let's
move the convo forward.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
If I said to either one of those,
but I had a prom date.
If I had to say,
I went to prom.
But so what did
I
you
had a prom date?
What do you have right now? 30 years on.
It's not 30 years on.
20 years on.
It's not even 20 years on.
15 years on.
Again, right now, the reason why I'm single is because I'm dealing with my mother's. I'm dealing with work and also my mother's health conditions.
Shout out to Platinum Eden for the super chat, and I'd also like to send
the majority of Americans are single.
To Spiritual Logic, he says women legally choose and fought to be equal to men. So now, like men who are irresponsible and dumb, they suffer. What's there to talk about? I think there's plenty to talk about. Spiritual Logic. I think there's plenty. Go ahead, guys.
Was that black women that was doing that though, or was that white women fighting for equality?
Obsidian is hunting, and Miss J is in his crosshairs, and I just wanted to say that.
I think I hit the bullseye.
Who cares? Half of America is single. You're making a stupid talking point.
Like, where are the cross?
Let's try this again.
That's even in the Western world. You're just making a dumb argument.
Western world.
Can we get Chaos's answer?
The Gamma Quadrant, the Andromeda Galaxy. I'm talking about you.
Okay, and I'm talking about you.
Okay, I know how to keep a relationship. I know how to do it.
So you say.
So
Obsidian, let's move on, man. You proved your point, bro. Let's move on.
But what do you say?
Me?
Y'all can say a lot of things online. Half of y'all niggas say y'all have a 6 figures, and y'all know that's a lie.
But what do you say?
You also say you're 5'7". We know that's a lie.
But what do you say?
Miss J, do you have anything to offer that's not a personal attack on Miss J?
It's not a personal attack. I didn't attack her. I just asked the question.
And I answered it.
I agree with DJ Nath. Danny actually reads her, cash apps like no other. Kudos.
Let me ask another question. Let me come at it this way. Miss J, are there any good black men out there? Let me just put it that way.
Yes, they are.
Mm-hmm. Why is it that we never hear you talk about them?
You ain't asked me.
Mm-hmm. So
you don't talk about the good black women
Oh,
either.
it's about
You
what
literally
I'm
make a
I'm just
living
saying.
because you have a whole channel for I don't know how many years talking about black female fuckery, but you gonna talk to me about that again? Okay, okay.
Obsidian, what's your shoe
You pay your
size?
light bill
What's your
off of
shoe
that.
size?
So just nonsense.
What's your shoe size, Obsidian?
You see, that means that we done with the conversation because you see how messy everybody get. I'm not dealing with
He just
black
it's stupid.
people.
It's stupid talking
No,
points. You
he
want to go
want
ahead
to
and get
play.
personal, and it's dumb.
He want to play. He want to play. What's your shoe size, Obsidian?
3.
Oh my God.
I'm out of
Sister George, you didn't get an answer from Chaos yet.
That's bad. Don't do that. Don't do that to
I
him.
really do. This
Don't
is so
do
y'all
that
get
to him. I like Obsidian. Don't do that to him. I like Obsidian. Don't do that to him.
A three and toddlers.
I answer questions all the time.
Well, what is your shoes?
Oh my God, really, Danny? Really?
No, you're right. You're right. I'm not supposed to. Okay, what's the next question? Okay,
We didn't get an answer from Chaos yet.
Yeah, go ahead. Because I had another part to my question, but I'm not even going to ask it.
My point is
maybe I'll ask that as part of their closing comments. Go ahead.
My point is very simple. It's a very simple point. This is a question that cannot be answered collectively. This is an individual question. It comes down to the individual black man and black woman getting along. And let me say it again. There are a lot of black men and black women that just don't know how and don't care to get along. This is a personal question, not a collective question, not what they're doing over in the EU, not what's happening in the Andromeda Galaxy. This is a personal question in real time. Relationship is
a
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like it can't be, helped, or there's nothing that can be done about it. It's that people want to learn and have to want to learn to get better and how to relate to others. That's true for both black men and black women. You want to tell me that there are antisocial black men in the black manosphere? Nobody's taking more heat for saying that than me. Nobody. Nobody.
You're right about that.
Okay? If you want to tell me that there are black men that are antisocial, that don't know how to deal with other people, forget black women. They don't even know how to deal with other black men. You want to tell me that? I'll be the first to say it. I'll be the first.
Act your age, not your shoe size.
No, it's some Frankensteins out there. Some weird motherfuckers out there. Believe that.
All right. But the problem is that the problem goes deeper than that. A lot of black women don't want to deal with the fact, shout out to St. Kevin, night in and night out shows, they ain't the only ones. Black men ain't the only ones that's socially awkward, that's antisocial, that's misanthropic. They ain't the only ones. And until that is addressed on a personal level, because you ain't having no relationship with the black collective. You're having a relationship with one black man, one black woman. Until you figure that out,
if I was a younger woman, I would actually collaborate with you. No, I would collaborate with him because he is actually a very, very determined man, and I admire that about him. I really do. So I apologize if I made you a spectacle. I'm just saying I did it out of fun because I think you got it going on in so many ways.
Interesting. Well, Obsidian, are you done with your points? Because we wanted to get Chaos in, and then I think Sister George had one more question, and then I'll wrap mine up in closing comments.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Chaos, what are your thoughts on the question? It was a long time ago that we asked. Okay, yeah, Chaos is doing his Chaos thing. SG, did you have some? Go ahead.
Can y'all hear me? Am I breaking up?
Yeah, we can hear you. I forgot we didn't get platinum either. Go ahead, Chaos.
Hey, Chaos.
I lost what the question is for all this.
I know. Well,
I'm being honest, y'all ladies. It's hard to answer. What question? Tell me. I'll see if I can answer
the question. The question was, who should take the lead on bridging the gap? Black men or black women, and what steps should be taken?
Oh, I don't know. That's a hard question. I think it should be a collective. To be honest with you, that's the only answer I can give you. I could
Okay,
say certain
meet in
things.
the middle.
Black man could do some part, and black women could do in their part, and we can come to the middle somehow. That's the only answer I can give, to be honest, because no matter what
That's
the black
fair.
man does, yeah, that's my only answer. Because I don't see most women today. If the black man does enough, if we're gonna still have to deal with this little system that we're dealing with, just to get everybody on board. So go ahead.
Platinum.
Okay. Well, I have my opinion about love. I think that's a female emotion. I don't think men should. I think modern society has convinced men that they have that ability, in them. I don't think they don't have the ability to do it. And it's caused problems when they start trying to project that emotion onto the woman. But
men don't have the ability to love.
No, they don't. That's a female's emotion.
Maybe their love. Go ahead.
No. And then modern society is killing it for lots of people, not just black men. And see, what's happened is these black men, they can't fall back on their wallets. They can't fall back on their accomplishments because women don't need them. So women have a lot more play with who they date. And you also assume, a lot of these Negroes assume all men will mate. That's never been true. That's why men have killed each other throughout time. But there's more men who are not mating with women because they just simply fall short. It's got nothing to do with a conversation or an examination. Women don't want them. You're a loser. Now, I don't have that problem with women, so I can understand their frustration. But it's just the reality that these men are they're going to die. They're going to die off. They can die off with books. They can die off with groups. And they can die off with their complaints. They're just simply not wanted by women. And unless they choose to fuck with fat, unwanted women and unattractive women, they're not ever going to have a mate. And that's just the reality of the situation. They'll never be a platinum. And I like that. They'll never be me because I don't have no problem with bitches. I had a bitch give me a number when I went to get some chicken, and I got a number at the woman, my change. So I'm just saying, I can understand the frustration of the failure of men. So when you say battle of the sexes, I don't see that. There's no war zone here, especially where I'm at. It's all they're putting out over here, all over the place. They're giving it up. The men are getting chose. The women are getting down. I just don't see this trouble. That this so-called storm that's coming. It hadn't come here. It hadn't come here. Matter of fact, if you want a woman, come to where I live. They're all over the place. I don't care if you can be Frankenstein. You can get you a woman out here. And I ended at that.
It's called propaganda, Platinum. Propaganda.
Okay, Danny, what's your final question? And I'll go with mine after you.
Oh gosh, I had like one in the back of my head and then I just forgot it. But okay. So, and this is to everybody on the panel and into the chat. Do you guys think that Black people need a savior? Do we need a a leader that we can all follow?
No.
Yes.
No. Heck no. Heck no.
Anybody else want to answer?
Yeah, there's like several people up here that were silent, right?
What's the question?
The question is, do
Black people need a savior?
Need a savior?
Do we need a leader?
No,
Right,
because
that's
no, that's nonsense. See, once again, we in these particular panels and in these spaces on YouTube. I don't know what these Negroes think. We live in huts and we're in some fucking tribe. We're not. We don't live in huts. We're not in a tribe. We're free Americans. I mean, most of us. I know a lot of people from Africa and overseas. Okay, well, America, you do what you want to do in America.
Can I explain?
I don't need a leader. I'm my own leader. If someone says something that I agree with, I'll input that. But beyond that, I don't have a leader. My fault. Let me.
Well, let him finish, Mel.
No. I was whatever. I allow Mel to have the rest of my time. There you go, Mel.
May I explain my position as to why I said yes? it has to do with the Barack Obama election campaign. For whatever reason, everybody was so enchanted with this man, right?
Not everybody.
That hold on,
Foolishly.
a lot of people were enchanted enough with this man that they gathered buses. They actually leased buses to force their family members to go to polling stations and vote for this man. And that is indicative of how our people think. For whatever reason, we want somebody to tell us what to do. I think it's sad. I'm not with it, but
Unfortunately.
it's indicative as to the collective mindset of I need somebody to tell me what to do. And I think it's sad. I think it's sad.
Well, thank you, Mela, for expounding on your response. My final question, which you guys can answer in your closing remarks, because we're going to go ahead and close it out, is what we talked about, like basically what people think, people think should take the lead in bridging the divide. But what is the root cause? What do you believe is the root cause of the divide between Black men and Black women? And what were your thoughts about the topic, or anything that you want to say regarding our discussion today?
Hi, Roger.
All right, I'll go first.
Okay.
So I can help
Go
out.
ahead, Mike. Hey, Roger. Mike wanted to go really quick.
Can I go ahead and be real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
All right, thank you, because I'm going to jump right back off. I just actually happened to turn y'all on, and I heard the question, or at least what I believe I heard a question about, do we need leaders? My thing is, we have leaders. The issue is, do you follow the leaders? Your leader.
She said, do we need a savior?
Your savior is your leader. That's who your savior is, your leader. Your leader starts with your father, the man in your home. Your leader starts with your husband, the man in the home, the person who's directing the family toward the direction that he'll have them go in to be a better and productive family. The question is, do you want leadership from those men? And if you want the leadership, why aren't you following the men that you believe are great leaders? See, the thing is, people are following exactly what they want to. Everybody acts like people are stupid. Everybody knows what they're doing. We follow exactly what we want to follow so we can get the results that we want to get. People just need to be real about what they actually
that's
want.
what she was asking.
Well, I guess what I'm looking at it, and I understand where you're coming from, Roger. I really do. I guess I'm looking at it from a standpoint, when you do have our community in the condition, in the shapes that it is in, apparently, and it's apparent that we are not willing to come under the leadership, and I'm talking about the women specifically, aren't willing to come under the leadership of the men and have been enabled to lead our communities, right? So I'm looking at it from the standpoint now, looking at the community in the shape that it's in. Do Black people need a savior to get the community under control if that was to happen? Or as we go about building new communities, I get how it works then, but yeah.
Well, my point is,
Daniel.
Chaos, may I finish real quick? Because I'm gonna disappear, bro. Honestly, and when it comes down to it, your savior is your leader. If you want to be saved, you want to go with the leader that's about saving. If you want the conditions to stay the same, you go with the leader that's about keeping things the same. At the end of the day, the Black community is going to be a reflection of the women. I mean, of the men that women want to listen to, because we're in a society where women decide which children are born and which children are not. People don't necessarily like that because it goes into ego and things like that. But in reality, women decide who has children, who does not, period. So the children that they produce are the people they want around. So if you're producing people in a bad situation, that's because you want the community to stay bad. If you're producing people in a good situation, you want the community to stay good. And when it comes to the men usually straighten themselves out because society makes it where Black men are the most accountable men in this country. And an unproductive Black man is usually going to end up dead, in prison, or homeless. There's no other room for unproductive Black men. Yes, they can mess with a woman for a while who would take care of them as a homosexual. But even women, once they've been with a dude a certain amount of time, they want him to do better or they want him to leave. So black men are going to end up dead, homeless, or in prison if they're unproductive. So if women want to follow productive men to quote unquote save their community, then they're going to do so. If they don't do it, then they didn't want it saved. It's just that simple. Your what you do by your action shows what you want. And I gotta go. Y'all have a good day. I'm gonna be listening though.
Peace, Roger.
But the main problem that the current Black America has, that we're splintered off in several groups. Ever since we got the Civil Rights Act was passed, and we were so quote unquote integrated or supposed to be integrated into America, there's several different Black communities. Until we all come together and figure out what we want as a collective, or which group is in which group, which people in which group, there's not gonna be a leader to even. Their leader can't emerge because no one knows what they want. Everybody wants different things. So until we figure that ourselves, it's kind of a mute point. But I'm saying what you may want may be something what someone else wants completely different. That's what I'm saying. We're no longer as a group. We're just a bunch of people.
I know what.
Well, wait. Let me ask you a really quick question.
Getting off into a whole nother topic.
Right. No. I'm just gonna ask Ms. J this question real quick. Ms. J, do you feel that we can possibly come together with the things that we have in common?
I honestly don't know. I don't know that we have much in common other than our skin tone, to be honest with you. We have a unofficial class system that we ourselves don't really want to acknowledge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we keep having the same conversations over and over and over, because we're trying to find who is in what group. And until we personally get that together, you can't possibly have a leader, because we want completely separate things.
The reason why the dog,
so that group, so that group can have a leader, and then the other group that's formed can have a leader, but we're too divided, and it'll never work.
We're chasing our tails as a people, and the only way that we can actually come together is under one agreement. It has to stop this
right,
whole.
But I'm saying we need to find the agreement. We need to hash it out.
The agreement
That's the whole thing.
can be, Ms. J, the agreement can begin with something as very, very minuscule as not saying the N-word amongst one another.
Okay, but turn on any urban radio and see how that's going.
Thank you.
So that in itself we can't even do.
Hold on, Ms. J. This is why Obsidian be chasing you. Okay, look,
I don't care.
All I'm saying is that in the event that our people, ADOS, whatever we want to call ourselves, in the event that we come to a collective agreement of understanding that we got to agree on something. One thing, like you got dope dealers, you got housekeepers.
Okay, Mela, because we want to go.
You're literally saying what I said.
Panel, so
that's literally what I said.
Just stop. Just agree to stop saying the N-word as collective. Then we'll know that we are we're one and the same.
But I'm saying you agree with that, but everybody else that says it doesn't agree with that.
The responses, as opposed to going with the back and forth, because I have to wrap it up. So let's go ahead and give our final commentary on the topic, and you can answer.
I don't think that was dismissive worthy. I'm sorry.
I'm saying you just said what I said.
Do you? Okay, so.
All right. What was the question again, Concrete?
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Do Black people need a savior?
No, that wasn't the question that we were ending on. That was
my bad.
That was Roger came back up and asked about that. Everybody had answered that question. The question that we were ending on in the comments was just what's the root cause of the divide between Black men and Black women, and your final thoughts on the topic.
All right.
My question to say about that.
All right, I'll go ahead and say my piece and jump
Mike.
off, so we got less people. The root cause is that honestly, it's y'all ain't gonna like it, whatever it is, what it is. But black women see themselves as above the black men in the community, and therefore they're not following their leadership or their guidance. And so, you're looking for black love, except the man is on a mission that the woman doesn't want to jump on. So that there, right there, the man's going this way, the woman wants to go her way. You're not going to come together if you're going in opposite directions. That's the way I see it. Like somebody said earlier, y'all got your own money, y'all got your own ability to survive, but you want other things from the black man. But if he's over there and you're over here, it ain't going to happen. So you say you want the black man to lead, you got to follow his lead. If that doesn't happen, then we're going to continue on this track that we're on, and it is what it is. All right, but hey, I appreciate you ladies for letting me up.
Appreciate the conversation. You for coming up, and thank you for your commentary. We appreciate you, bro.
All right, y'all enjoy the rest of the weekend.
You too.
Let me.
You too. Go ahead, Platinum.
Okay. Look, thanks for letting me come up, and let me just say that
anytime.
None of that's going to happen. This notion that all black people in America, let's just say America, are going to come on one accord and agree. That's never going to happen. We're still free American citizens, and people are going to rest on that. Look, like me, I'm glad. I don't want to listen to you niggas, so I'm always going to go the way I want to go. I look at black people.
You mean ninjas?
Things. Can I have my opinion and my final thought? I look at black people do things, and I disagree with a lot of that shit. So I'm not going to listen to some hut-minded Negroes who want to live in some bubble. I don't want to be around them. I'm going to live my life the way I want. I'm a free man. I'm free. And I when I hear Negroes constantly talk that hut stuff and and it's always some old stupid Negro who thinks he's a leader and he's just a clown. So no, I'm not gonna, that's never going to happen. I know that's not going to happen. So black men and women are fine. They're having sex, they're having babies, they're getting married, they're getting divorces. Modernization, our modern society is destroying the so-called belief. Marriage is an ancient custom. Modern society has destroyed that. Okay, it's got nothing to do with people not getting along. Okay, you're not wanted. If you can't get you a woman, you're not wanted. Now,
say that, Platinum.
Okay, if you can't get a woman, if you can't get you a man with Tinder and all these dating apps, you really got, I don't care if you're 60. If you can't put up an ad, believe me, it's some thirsty dude out there that's going to hit you up in that inbox. Believe that. So a woman, you can't get a man now. I don't know. You can't get a particular man. Come on, maybe you can't. But you can get a male. You can get a male individual in your inbox. You probably get a couple of females too. Now, on the men's side, it's different. It's always been different for men. Men, it just doesn't mean you're going to mate. Men have to be men. You have to compete with other men. You have to fight. That's why a lot of men fight. They kill because they want to mate. But this notion is that a bunch of men are going to ration out some philosophy that women are going to listen to, and they don't even want the men. That's nonsense. It's not going to happen, and those men are going to die off. And a guy like me, I don't care. I don't care, and I wish you would die off now because you're in the way of real players. You're in the way of real players because I ain't got no problem with these women. None. And I'll end it at that.
Thank you, Platt. We appreciate you. The dope commentary. We appreciate you for coming up, and you're always welcome, bro.
Nuruddin, what do you have?
Well, I have to ask this question. Let's say if a black man becomes a leader, what does he get at the end of it from what we have today? What does he get? Can somebody answer that question for me? What does he get? Because we already heard on Bernard Riley's channel.
What do any leader get?
She's gonna give you all that now.
Wait. Let me ask you to clarify your question.
Thank you.
Are you talking about on a personal level, like if a black man leads his household, or are you talking about on a large scale, like if a black man is leading the community?
Both.
What
especially a competent black man who has his stuff together.
Color. What does
Legacy.
any leader get?
Legacy.
Legacy, family, culture, power,
Power,
respect.
respect. You get position. You're held in esteem. You can
You get
call
to
the
call the
shots. You get
shots.
your pick of the one. Yeah, you get your pick of the women. You get to say, what you'll tolerate and what you won't and who you'll deal with, and you have control.
But then you also have other people, not just men, but women willing to challenge you on that.
Yeah,
They're
but if
willing to
you're
challenge
allowing,
you and try
but
not just
Nuruddin,
trying to
But you
challenge you,
don't
but
have to
kill you
deal
for
with
it.
it.
but
Don't
this
deal
is the
with it. You
thing,
a leader.
Nuruddin. If you're putting yourself in a
Thank
position,
you,
if
Miss
you're
Rose.
putting,
You just
yeah. So my answer to that,
answered my
and this is
question.
to any men, if you put yourself into position to where you're concerned to a certain degree about how women feel and what women think, then you're not leading that woman. Your woman is leading you. So if you're a leader and you're worried about what the women think, I kind of feel like to a certain degree that's all where you messed up at already. But this is coming like down to power and stuff, not within your household, because what your wife thinks, what your fiance thinks absolutely does matter. Shout out to me. Go ahead, y'all.
And I
This
was
is
gonna say
where
one more
this is
thing,
where
that the reason why a
I
lot
say
of us,
shout out
like
to you,
especially,
Sister George. That was
okay,
good.
Okay. So Nuruddin, did you have anything else?
yeah, I was gonna say, I think the reason why a lot of times black men and black women are at each other's throats, because I don't think we even like each other anymore. It's gotten to the point where it's just hate fucking is normal. We go back to where we go back to, and that's that. And I think that's really sad. And a lot of times the children see that and they mimic that. And I would like the cycle to break, but if neither side wants to listen to each other. See, the thing about it is that we're not talking to each other; we're talking at each other. And when you talk at
We can
somebody,
break the
they're gonna
chain.
feel that you're trying to overtalk them and overrule them. That's
We
the
can
thing.
break the
But do we
chain.
want the chain to be broken?
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
The
but
people that are
again,
showing
do we
up,
want that chain to be broken?
you have
It's
people
just,
who are literally showing up and are willing to come to these discussions and to try to hash some things out. You do have some people that are willing. And so to the ones that are willing, there's a fight to be fought. Those that are not willing to fight that fight, they actually have that right too, and that's what it is. And so everybody has to pick a side. Are you willing to fight
and
for it, or are
leave.
you saying fuck it? And if you're saying fuck it, that's cool too. But my problem is, now if you saying fuck it, leave everybody else alone. You said fuck it. But if you saying that you're gonna fight, do what you
Right.
gotta do. And
But the
and
thing
and
about it
then
is that
that part starts on an individual level. Do what you have to do on an individual level so you can help the collective.
Okay, Nerdine,
yeah,
are
but the
you
thing
done with
about it
your
is that
comments?
when you do decide to leave, then you're shamed for it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just gonna say.
No,
I just say this,
and you
that
have to,
even when
and
you
at
do
no,
some
leave and
just
point,
say
just
that,
at
go.
some point,
then you're shamed for it.
No.
you're gonna have to put on your big boy draws and say fuck it. That's the decision you made as a man, and as a man, it's gonna come down to a point to where you don't have to justify your decisions to any fucking body, because you're living your life, you're building for yourself and for your family and your community, and that's what it is. And so, if anybody has a problem with that, that's on them. You don't have to justify shit to anybody. We're grown.
That's right. Walk in your purpose, young
Sounds good to
man,
me.
without
Oh,
shame.
okay. Thank you, Nerdine, for your comments. Who haven't we heard from? Mela, what are your
Yeah.
final comments on the topic? And you can answer the question if you'd like.
Oh, well, my standard is say no to promiscuity, of course. However, let's extend it to whether or not black men and black women get along. It's raining outside, right? As we speak, in my area, it's coming down real hard. What I want to say as a final statement is we all need one another to rejuvenate the culture, the traditions that we would develop for our children. It is very, very fruitless for us not to get along with one another. It is heartbreaking when we seek to devour one another for no particular reason at all other than to exercise a sense of adrenaline. I would pray that we take seriously the abolishment of the N word, because then we'll know that we stand on something as a collective. You can actually, like, you got YouTube forbidding us to use certain terms to describe, sexual orientations. Why is it that we aren't emphasizing what it takes to diminish the laws that allow people to diminish us? That is crazy to me. It's like, why shouldn't it be forbidden for everybody to stop using the N word? And at least we can assimilate some type of collective power from ground zero. And I don't know how crazy that sounds to everybody out there who has an affection for that word, but I think that's what we all are addicted to. We're all addicted to using that N word. And so if we can all sacrifice legislatively that that's no longer allowed amongst us, it will demonstrate some semblance of power, and we can grow from that. That is what I'm thinking. So I don't know what y'all got to say about it. I know a lot of people have an affection. Shit, they got an attachment for the N word. Like, they can't even imagine going a day without using the N word, right? I even got caught up in it. And I just believe that legislatively, if all these people who aren't us have forbidden terms used against them, that is power against us. So it would behoove us to initiate power against them by coming to an agreement against at least one thing, at least one freaking thing that we all tend to do. Just sacrifice it, let it go. Stop using the N word. That's and say no to promiscuity. And thank you for my rant. I know I misbehaved, but I love y'all.
Thank you, Mella. We appreciate you as always. Thank you for coming up, dear, and thank you for your commentary.
No, don't pacify me. I know I got on your nerves. No. Don't pacify.
Oh, you know what, Mella, you were mild today. Maybe you did not get on my nerves at all. You ain't bother me at all. You were cool. Thank you though, dear. We appreciate you as always. And then Chaos Rain, did you want to answer the question regarding what you believe the root cause of the divide between black men and black women is, and give us your final commentary?
Be honest with you, I didn't answer about the savior thing. I don't see in regards to what you meant about savior. You talking about physical or a spiritual savior?
Danny, that was your question. Did you meant a physical savior, right?
Yes.
I don't know if there was any physical savior for our existence that really moved the race for the last 300 to 400 years since we lost complete power and put into servitude. I don't see no actual savior. I say I have not seen no actual savior, and let me tell you why. Because great leaders, either men or women, but mostly for the sake of this conversation, mostly men, they come and go. Who are here to replace anybody that has put wave to get us where we need to be in that actual promised land? No one. That's why you see when they took out those two leaders, civil rights leaders, back for almost 50 years now, same age as Obsidian, you have not seen that from really progress in regards to actual leadership. So, like I said, it's been created, construct, and control. So if people thinking that they're going to look for anybody that's going to be created in this society to save black people, you're wasting your time. The only thing black people could do moving forward is if we're gonna do anything, we have to be organized and have an idea what we want as a collective. And that has to be all of us, but just enough, and the rest will follow because people are followers at the end of the day. That's my answer to that question. Now, regardless to this divide, Black people had to make a decision. Either we want to still progress as a race here in this American country, or we're going to soon see most of us going to be watered out genetically within the next 30 or 40 years. And I will give it 2.5 or 3 generations, the way how they want to project what America should be looking like. They already said that they want this. They want this. So where Black people's place in this is only determined by the generation we have, children that's coming up now, what they do. If you already see the ties that some of them not even interacting with one another, you know where it's heading. It's that simple. And this space we call YouTube, Black is forbidden. As everybody knows this already. If people think they're making money, emphasize saying putting Black in the tower, just talking Black, you are sadly mistaken. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because now they're ramping up to get control of this media space. Now, only way Black people gonna get control of that is they're gonna have to not only deal with this media space here, but branch off to other media space where people can go and fall, where it's still controlled by us, God willing. Anything less than that, all you're gonna see, and you're seeing now, is the further divide and demise of Black people here in America. Now, outside America, it's gonna take a while. But here they already got this country a little wrapped. As you can see how we're having these conversations. Hell, a lot of us are not even sociable now with each other now with the embed of this technology. So where do you think it's going? Really? And the first start to even start anything, we have to be socialized. We are more disconnected more than ever. That's what Kevin said. And I think Asita mentioned this personally. Antisocial people don't go far. You don't get far in your careers, you go far in relationships, period. So we can keep playing this game that we're going to keep going the trajectory we're going and we're going to have some serious results. No, you're wrong. That's why when I watch these channels, even this relationship part, I understand, I see it now that a lot of us, men, and a whole bunch of the women, we're not sociable, very antisocial. So when we talk about we want the better outcomes, we have to start correct that first. And I think therapy will be the number one start. After that, try to be socialized or go out there and put yourself out there. So the closing remarks I'm gonna say at this is that it's only going to be determined on what we do here. Children are watching us. Young teenagers are watching us. I know y'all got some grown children right now. What we put in their heads and what we want for the future, we got to put in the work now. Anything less than that, our children are going to look at what we have left for them and they're going to take a different direction. Now, I hope that answers all questions.
I think so. I think you answered all the questions that we've had for the entire show, but thank you, Chaos. And then Obsidian, what are your final remarks? And if you'd like to answer the question. Obsidian? I ain't no telling what he did. He probably stepped away.
Yeah, there's no telling. But you know what? The super chat is on the. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Oh yeah, I need to read Black Wizard super chat. Thank you, Black Wizard, for the super chat. He says, "Black people don't trust each other. The race idea is over until that is resolved. Men want submission, but women want men to have power. Women want men to have power, but men want women to submit. Nobody will make the first move, so people are dating out." Good point, Black Wizard, and thank you for the super chat. We appreciate you. Benjamin D'Souza, what are your final comments, and then we'll get Miss J in there.
What was the final question?
Oh Lord!
Come
I'm sorry.
on,
The question was, what do you think? What do you think the root cause of the divide between Black men and Black women is?
Okay, well, the root cause for the divide between us is Black women wanting overstep their bounds. You guys overstepped your bounds, and you want more than what you're willing to put in.
Thank you. And what are your final thoughts on the topic and discussion?
To piggyback off of what Platinum Elite said earlier, that love is a female emotion, I do agree. I kind of share those same sentiments that, if love can be defined by anything, it means nothing. So we need to kind of bury black love, and we need to look more to black estate planning. So that's my final thoughts on that.
Thank you, Benjamin. Miss J, are you back, dear? Or
I'm
no,
here.
I'm sorry. Okay, Obsidian has
No,
stepped
go
out.
ahead.
Let me. Obsidian, are you back? Okay, maybe not. Miss J, what are your final thoughts on the topic, and if you would like to answer the question?
Okay. Well, the answer to the question is it goes back to where we originally came from, which is Africa. We got kidnapped from different tribes.
No,
We're
we
not all the same.
didn't. No, we
Excuse
Benjamin,
me.
this
didn't.
is her
They
final
asked me,
thoughts,
not
and
you, not you.
Benjamin, this is not the
I can't stand
conversation. This
Benjamin.
is a final thought.
Miss
He get on my nerves.
Sister George, you know damn well.
Benjamin, let that woman answer and give her. Not everybody subscribes to your thought processy.
Go ahead, Miss J.
I'm saying human beings are tribal around the world. The original issue is we all come from different tribes. We spoke different languages. We all got mush-mashed together over here. We've always been divided over here. The only time we were really together, we were fighting to get from under slavery and Jim Crow. After we achieved that on paper, we went back to what we already were, which is different people. That's the original thing. That's why we have all the different things about the thought versus the church girl, the Pookie and Ray Ray versus the educated lane, the bougie person versus the ghetto person. We always been divided. That's the root cause. Black people, not black people, but women and men across the globe for forever, back to biblical times, have not gotten along. That's happens everywhere. I'm saying our root cause is we are all different tribes put together under a false pretense. And then after that got released on paper, we went back to being separate. That's just how those black people over here have always been, where we've never really been one united people like the French people are and the English people are. We've never been that way.
Boomer Sooner in the chat says that he's Nigerian and that his peoples never kidnapped other quote unquote African peoples and sold them to the Americas. So that whole notion that we are
we actually have written there's actually written proof of that from their own documentation.
Okay, so you have one tribe that
Wow.
to the Americas.
Is
Shout out to
erroneous.
Caramelized Sugar for the super chat. She says, "Chaos. Black teens are already dating out. Too late." Who do we have next? Obsidian, are you back yet? I got Beyonce stuff to do.
If not, that's it. And let me give my final comments so my boo can
Yes,
get out of here.
he's right.
Her
He's
fiance
right.
stuff. Okay, we're not going to debate that, but congratulations again to Danny. Bro Curlin, you did that. Very, very happy for my boo.
Congratulations.
I'm super excited for you, boo. Also,
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
This was a dope conversation. Thank you to everybody
Enjoy.
who participated. I appreciate you, Miss J, for accepting our invite.
Danielle,
as
can you hear
well
me?
as I'm talking. As well as Amiri accepting the invite and Topaz accepting the invite. So we appreciate you guys for being so kind as to join us, as well as those who came up impromptu. We appreciate you as always. This was, like I said, a dope conversation. Thank you for everybody who super chatted, and thank you to everybody who congratulated Danny and Bro Curlin. This is so exciting. And thank you to everybody who participated in the chat. My thoughts on the topic are that this discussion proved what I already know, that we just completely regarding how we view each other. We have completely different perspectives. We have completely different ways of viewing things, and it is basically the reasoning behind why we operate so differently. I feel like, we're just operating on two completely different playing fields, and it's almost like we refuse to try to see where the other party is coming from, which drives me absolutely insane. But nonetheless, I enjoyed this discussion. And once again, thank you to everybody who participated. And that's all I got.
You cool in the gang, and blissful regards to Danny and her beloved.
Well, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Sure, go ahead.
Miss George, congratulations on your engagement. I'm hoping everything works out. I hope everything you get everything that you want, and he gives you everything that you need, and y'all take care of each other. And to answer the question of teens dating out, I saw it for myself. I saw it in the high schools that I worked in, and they are dating out, and they are dating out a lot faster because they're seeing that even in the high schools and junior high schools that the black girls and the black boys don't get along. So what's happening is they're seeing it, and they're seeing a different perspective of it, and they're not putting up with it. So what's going to happen is that you're going to see more and more interracial dating between the high school kids and the junior high school kids. And actually, I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing that we can intermingle with other cultures and learn from each other. And I think that getting rid of the N word, because I don't like using it. I call people ninjas instead of the actual N word. Instead, I just call you a ninja, and after that, that's it. But other than that, congratulations, and I hope everything works out.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Nerdine.
So much.
And yes, the younger generation are assimilating. That was the whole point of the 1968 Civil Rights Act.
You're welcome.
That's basically what's going to happen.
Okay, I'm back for a specific purpose. I didn't know that it was announced publicly, but now that I know it was,
and I say the more the merrier.
Hold on, Nerdine.
Yeah. Now that I know it was announced publicly, I want to make a public. I want to publicly say congratulations to Curlin and Sister George. I hope y'all have a great and wonderful marriage. Based on the fact that I've talked to both of you and I've seen you around, I do believe it's going to work out. I believe y'all will have a great and long marriage, at least 55, 60, 70 years, hopefully. So I am totally rooting for both of you all.
60, 70 years. That's a long
they gonna be old.
They ain't that old. Yeah, they ain't that old. They might make that. They might make that.
Years old.
Bro, they might make it.
And
I hope a lot of us will accept that. Now, and I want to say, you know what I'm saying? Because I know certain people have certain views about Sister George. And I'm going to tell you, I probably didn't like her more than any of y'all, period. When I first came into contact with her. You know what I'm saying?
I was a terrorist,
I'm just keeping it real. When I first learned of Sister George, she definitely was not on my list of people who are even worth talking to. But I've seen her go through changes over the years, and she has become a much better person. And I believe that we need to support women, because we talk about the women, and we talk about how we want them to change. I have literally watched her change. And I think more men need to recognize when a woman is changing, we need to support their growth. Because if we don't encourage the ones who do change, then why would the others change? Point blank.
Love makes Love makes things happen.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that if we have people who dealing in public situations, being on social media and things like that, and we see a woman move from one place to another place, which is generally better for men, we as men need to celebrate that. Now, I'm not saying she's the woman that every man would want. I'm not saying
a lot of men
she'd
do
be.
Though. I'm sorry.
And I'm gonna let you have that because I believe that's true. I'm gonna let you have that. I believe that's true. But what I am saying is, though, if we notice a woman moving into a better direction, we as men should acknowledge that, because it could encourage other women. I know it's going to encourage other women to actually start moving the goalposts to be more like the ones that we respect and we hold dear to our hearts, the ones we celebrate. So let's never forget to celebrate the ones that are improving and celebrate the ones that we love. And if we continue to show women that we love that type of respect, less women will call women pick me's, because that's just, I know people say pick me, but keep in mind the women who are calling women pick me, those are usually losers that nobody picked. I've never seen a person who actually got picked address another woman as a pick me, point blank, period. So that's really loser talk. And losers love to call winners names because they don't want winners to get respect. And I'm gonna leave it there. Long live the habitual line steppers.
Hashtag Black Love.
Thank you.
Hashtag Black
Okay,
Love.
let's let Danny get her final commentary in here, please.
Oh gosh, guys, this was a really, really, really good show. I didn't feel like we came straight out of the ghetto on this one. So shout out to everybody we had up on the panel. Like the last couple of shows, I was like, damn, this does look like Love and Hip Hop. But it didn't look like that today. Somebody said that to me, like, y'all turn this to Love and Hip Hop. And I was like, damn.
Hey, a lot.
Exactly. But I think that this was a really good show. I'm always appreciative of everybody that comes to our panels, especially to everybody who donates and the super chats and everything. So thank you to all of you guys. And thank you to everybody in the chat. Y'all know y'all make my day, because y'all don't do nothing but keep up shit, and I love it. So shout out to everybody. But thank you guys for the well wishes. Wish me luck, because curling is curling is the best, and I love the shit out of curling. So I'm very, very fortunate.
You already said he
very,
high
very
maintenance, so
happy.
Lord, this wedding about to be something.
No, it's not, girl. Like I said, I'm already getting anxiety from thinking about like all the planning and stuff. I'm gonna
It's
really
gonna all come together, boo.
Yeah, it will. But I'm really excited and I'm happy. And so yeah, that's it.
May I share a statement that creates longevity in a relationship?
Sure. Absolutely.
Hashtag whatever you want to do, I want to do it with you, baby. That's all you got to say. Whatever you want to do, I want to do it with you, baby. You'll get along.
Well, thank you so much, Mello.
Girl, you better be cautious using that, but go ahead. With the advice. Sorry. He may say some super crazy wild stuff.
That's for a decent man. That's for a decent man, not these
my mind
what they call them, maggles and all of it. That's for a decent man. A decent man.
My mind went somewhere else. Okay.
Child.
Yeah, for a decent man.
Y'all see SKC. No, I would never Jada my man. Or I wouldn't do it like Jada did. No, child.
I can't stand SKC. Did he get jaded by Ming Lee? Oh, okay.
Anywho, but shout out to SKC for me and Curlin are going to do the Chinese buffet, and SKC and his wife will be catering. So we are very, very, very excited about that. That is gonna be
yay!
Make sure ain't no cat or dog, but go ahead.
Baby. Yay, no pay. Yay, no pay.
Y'all crazy. Anywho,
but can I say one thing though? I have a good idea for our show that we need to do. What you guys can do in the future. We need to have a definition of what certain words mean. Because we have, I'm saying, the terms that we use, everybody thinks they mean different things.
We can all come together. About a really good point with that, Miss J. Because I've noticed, like, even with the game definition, I think a lot of us have a different definition of game. A lot of things that we do have very different definitions on. So I think a Wednesday show one week, we
just have a debate so we can all agree when we say this is actually what we mean.
But love means nothing. It means everything. So
okay, we'll agree. We can agree with that. We can agree with that. Okay, well, and we can move on to the other words. I definitely agree with that.
And game means chopping.
Benjamin, stay tripping.
What? Oh my gosh,
that's what it means.
Why did you come? I don't even know why you highlighted that,
Benjamin. I didn't have a final thought.
Just be a mess.
I just came up here just
be a mess. Be messy.
But a serious discussion about what it means. So in
I'm
the
not
future,
being
when we
messy.
talk about
I'm
stuff,
being
we can know what
precise.
what we're talking about.
I'm being precise.
Again,
peace out, Black
congratulations.
people. I'm dropping down. Y'all can continue to talk amongst
Honey, no,
yourselves.
I'm dropping down too because I got fiance.
Again, congratulations again.
Go ahead and do fiance things. And
Yes.
thanks again to everybody and everybody who participated and everybody in the chat and everybody who's super chat.
Again, congratulations.
Congrats, Danny. Peace out.
Thank you guys. We are out.
Enjoyed you.